6 on Thursday the 14th. We are in number 462. About 4,000 to be here. What, 3 years?
3 years to get you.
1,500, probably was 2,000 videos.
Over 3,000 videos.
12 million views. It needs to be in the equals. The rest is. Yeah, we're going to use this. Now when I'm playing, make things you could do. But that's actually not playing. Check it out, so you have to.
See how's the flag.
Like it. Oh yeah. On the ground.
5:30, I think.
6. An hour and a half to the train.
Bit of a rush.
One other transport strike. There's we're having a size super dry. So 10 euros. Very much beer. Like a 4 grand just to get this.
Right, hello and welcome back to the channel. It is day 2 in Bordeaux, and I'm at the tram station where you can see a couple of Chile fans there, about to head to the stadium for our first match of the tournament. Seen a lot of South Africans here, a lot of, well, I mean, we're just on a tram now and there's just Afrikaans everywhere. There's English, which is the main thing, which is very cool to see. But yeah, Samoa versus Chile kick off at 3 o'clock, which is in about 4 hours time. It's about 12 o'clock, so yeah, we're about to head to the stadium now, do a couple of interviews, go and see a lot of South African fans, get some interviews with some of the Chilean fans, Samoan fans who are out in their colours. Personally, might actually go get a Chile shirt as well. But yeah, stay tuned for my first match day vlog of the tournament. everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. This is day 2 of the Forever Sports Tour, and we are here in Bordeaux. Samoa versus Chile kickoff is in about just over an hour's time, and as you can see, absolutely pumping here in Bordeaux. Chile definitely seems to have the most fans here. It's a bit of a red army over here, although the Samoan support is definitely starting to arrive. Plenty of South Africans ahead of the game tomorrow against Romania, and I've got a beer, I've got my glasses on, and let's go have a look and see what's going on here. How's it guys? So I'm checking here, sitting here at the photography stand, and yeah, busy watching Chile warm up in front of me. Very cool warm jerseys, by the way. I was actually going to content to get their jerseys, but the actual warm jerseys are very cool. But yeah, I'm sitting at the stadium, so excited to put up. Just by the way, keep an eye out for the Red Army. A lot of Chilean supporters in for today. It's just an army of red looking around here. The Samoans come out there force as well, but absolutely nothing compared to what Chile have got. And yeah, second ever World Cup game for them. They look the part, a couple of players looking very confident around here. Very cool to sort of see it, and very cool to see how excited the fans are. We spoke to a couple of the fans outside, and you can just see how excited they are to get involved in something like this. I mean, we all know how passionate of a sports nation Chile are, and the rugby doesn't seem to be any different. Very keen to see what Samoa can do here. They should be able to get the job done, but you know, anything can happen in a World Cup. So I hope you guys are enjoying the watch along, and take it soon. Okay, and that is game 1. Lots of fun in Chile. Fan favorite team, they're absolutely brilliant side. From a people perspective, I mean, I've just left about 25 minutes after the game, with half an hour after the game. They're still signing autographs, they're still changing their fans, so absolutely brilliant team that definitely has a lot of future. I mean, they were always going to struggle against Samoa, physically wise. It was tough for them to cope. But yeah, that was game 1 in the bag. Gonna go walk around the village a little bit, see if there's anything. Might get myself a shitty shirt, actually, the way things are going, and then head on home for a watch along before hopefully hitting the streets of Bordeaux later. Hello everybody, Stevie P here from Forever Sports, and I'm here to tell you about BOYLESPORTS, the official betting partner of Forever Sports. Across all of our channels, they are one of the leading betting companies in the world and have recently launched in South Africa with an amazing offering. You can get a 1,000 Rand welcome offer. For the rugby, they are giving you 25% payout boost up to 2,000 Rand on the Springboks winning the World Cup, as well as an extra 50 Rand bet when you stake 250 more on rugby during the Rugby World Cup. It is your one-stop betting shop. That is BOYLESPORTS. Come and join us in the community. Check the links in the description to sign up. Get yourself an account and make sure that you are winning big with BOYLESPORTS. All right, we're outside Bordeaux. There is an hour until kickoff, and you can see it's an absolute sea of green over here. Yeah, and the plan is we're just going to head into the depths of Springbok supporters, chat with a few people, and see what's going on. So let's go and see. Basically, this is what it looks like to be here at Bordeaux. Let's go have a look and find some people to chat to and stuff. And yeah, I mean, as you can sort of see, we're talking about a sea of green. There's Springbok fans on fans on fans on fans on fans. We're going to be asking a few people for some score predictions and just try and find out how many people are actually here from South Africa and stuff, the travellers. So we're going to walk around and we're going to have a look. Hello everybody, hello, how are you? How are you? Good. Steve.
Hi, Wayne.
Very nice to meet you.
Hi, Steve.
Gentlemen, how are you? Good. Welcome. Where are you guys from?
Africa.
Johannesburg. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
I'm good at you.
Good. Please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
I'm Anita and I'm from Port Elizabeth in South Africa.
Kom here gedaan, yeah. There we go. We've ticked
Sorry,
off.
that one.
Yeah. My name is Steve, we're from Forever Sports. We are recording over here, so we're going to cover all the multitude of South African supporters. Are you guys all from South Africa? No, you are. Who's got load shedding when they get back? Okay, I want to go stand with you guys. This is my load shedding buddies here. What's impressive, if you ask me, is the fact we've got so many people actually from South Africa bringing the rand over here. We never thought our currency would get this far, but so far so good. No ways!
How you, bro? Hello, Ross. How you doing?
Yeah, very well.
Like
So this is how small of a world it is. Went to Varsity with this man who, as you can see, is looking phenomenal. Who dressed you today?
So we're here with a bunch of, there's 11 of us. We call ourselves Bokval.
Bokval.
So it's like a Stokval. So we've been saving up for 4 years. And now eventually we're here.
Joining the Sea of Green, where are you guys from?
Durban originally.
Durban, yeah.
I'm from Durban as well.
Durban, okay, shame. Sorry to hear that. Got a couple of Durbanites here. I'm from Joburg, so no, we appreciate you. We have to go on holiday somewhere.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's true. So you said originally, where are we now? London. Right.
Yeah, London.
But still sports South Africa, still South Africa all through.
Always. Springboks forever.
There we go. And this is your first game for the World Cup?
No, 2. Yesterday was it?
Samoa versus Chile game. Oh, there we go. What did we think about yesterday?
Crazy. But today it's better.
It's amazing. It's a sea of green, and thank you guys for wearing your colours and bringing out the box. When did you arrive?
We arrived on the 15th.
15. Okay, it's been here a while. And when are we leaving?
We are leaving on the 25th, so we're watching the Ireland game.
Ireland game. All right,
Yeah.
cool. We'll see you there. Right, Romania today. Give me a score prediction.
I am going to say 66.
At least 80 points.
At least 80 points. In the game or for us in specific? Okay, 80. Yeah, right. Yeah,
We have to match the Irish. They did 82, I think.
70. Yeah, so along those lines.
Yeah, so
Well, if you get 80 points, I'll get a bonus point. So.
let's aim for 80.
Do you think Romania scored today?
Yeah, yes. I think so.
To be fair, I think everyone here probably wants them to score actually.
They've got
So.
to at least get a bonus.
Yeah,
That
cool.
just make it feel good for a while.
Oh, there we go. Score prediction for today.
Score prediction on my SUPERBRU, I went Boks by 70. But I'm going to change that because I think the Boks are going to go 55. We're going to be celebrating a lot of tries. A lot of tries will be celebrated.
You got to tries, more tries. Does Romania have a chance? All the tries, eh?
100 out of 0.
100-0, okay. You reckon? 11 tries. We need more than 11 tries. We're going to go past 11. I want 80 points. What do you reckon?
I like barely double digits, so 10 tries.
10 tries. 10
But
tries.
I think just for the spirit of the game, it wouldn't hurt if Romania could score. They've got so much supporters here.
Yeah, I think to be fair, I think we all want them to score 8 tries.
Cross the line,
Yeah,
it's fine.
we do.
80-10.
80-10.
Yeah, nothing less than 60, buddy.
Nothing less than 60.
24-13.
Not going to be a popular man later. Right, so 10-11 tries so far is the call. And I bumped a couple of Romanian fans over here. Love the jersey, first of all. How are we? Yeah, come on here. Yeah, come on here. We want everybody here. We got everybody in here. Yeah. Coming up against the current world champs. How are you guys feeling?
We are feeling, I think, confident. We want to make a big game to get out of the game like Uruguay last game with France, like heroes. Yeah, it's hard to beat them, but we can be some heroes. We want to see some heroes there.
I'm actually quite keen to see how Dion Currie does coming on as
Yeah.
replacement hookers.
Okay.
And,
Well, Matty Markham starting there. Apparently anyone's a hooker these days.
Exactly.
Don't quote me on that, but after you finish here, we'll be invaded here. It's a bit of a takeover here. I'm going to come across here. Once you guys have played today, who are you guys supporting in the tournament? Are you guys going to support us afterwards, or is there another team you're supporting?
Depends of the result. Depends
I'm
on the
sorry for
result.
you, but the European team must win it.
No. Come here to us. You see, come here to us. We'll take you.
Well, you already have a movie, so the European nation needs a
Yeah, we
movie.
need another movie though. We've got no electricity. It's tough out there. This is the nice thing, I suppose, when it comes to the smaller games, is that there is genuinely no animosity whatsoever. It is very, very relaxed. And yeah, there's a lot of camaraderie. Hopefully that won't change. And look, if the Boks lose, we might see a lot of very grumpy Springbok supporters. Are we bringing it back to Pretoria?
Absolutely.
You reckon?
Absolutely.
Bring it back.
All the back.
Absolutely.
So you're going to bring it home?
Yeah, definitely.
The World Cup came back to South Africa for another 4 years.
My friend, he said yes.
Okay, there you go. You asked here, Cleese, Ches and Colvin. They've confirmed that the World Cup is coming back to South
Coming
Africa.
home.
So you heard it here first. There we go. Guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the game. lineup, and we all laugh at James, who immigrated, is down to the green bucket, and there he is. Look at him. Look at him. There's the rain come already, unlike the way. Hello everybody and welcome back to Favorite Rugby on Favorite Sport. And as you can see, it is Paris week. South Africa versus Ireland on Saturday. Welcome to week 2 of the tour, the first official sort of long week. We're in Bordeaux, we're now in Paris. We've got 4 days of build up. The Springbok announcement is actually tonight. And come here, join us, subscribe to the channel, and let's go see Paris, shall we? Fun morning, coming out of the police station. We are finally up Doggy there. Yeah, first line camera and got photo yesterday, so we're going to sort that out. And late change for plans. It's not sleeping announced tonight, so unfortunately got 2 hours. But yeah, let's go see the Paris. Roads across the street. It's going to blow our entire holiday budget on like the Porto of a watch. I reckon if we sold all our camera equipment, we might be able to buy like a strap. This is my official audition to become a Nike athlete. But that, I think I'm just visiting the store. And this is why we are here. To get the full selection of our stuff. Bloody floor. I'm walking upstairs. Pretty cool though. Come to basically 5-story Nike. This is where it gets dangerous. See French jerseys. I'm seeing lots of different jerseys. I'm seeing a lot of Euros. Getting sorted for my next fishing trip. Look, right at home, going to Loftus in my khaki Air Jordan jacket. There you go, nice. See when you watch the rugby on Saturday morning, and you're sorted. Alright. Let's go see the option film, shall we? This is now my Lecoq 14 edition today. Now it's all the rugby stuff.
This is currently where I'm walking. As you can see, I'm actually just taking a stroll literally through the French countryside to go and report on the Box Paris-based press conference. No public transport out here apart from a bus that doesn't go the right way. So having to give it a bit of a leg, I tried to ask a couple of French people for a lift, and both, 2 ladies and a guy, all three of them shook their heads and said no anglais and drove off. So clocking in some steps. It's a half an hour walk to the press conference. Yes, I do have the camera and tripod and mics on my back, so this is going to be lots of fun. I realise the train's coming in the wrong side.
Hello and welcome to Forever Sports. My name is Reese. I'll be talking to you a little bit today about one of our channel partners, BITDEFENDER. BITDEFENDER is a global leader in cyber security. BITDEFENDER is committed to defending people all around the globe against cyber attacks, as well as to transform people's digital experiences. In the next 6 months, Forever Sports will be covering major tournaments such as the Rugby Championship, the Premier League, the remainder of the Formula 1 season, as well as embarking on the biggest Rugby World Cup YouTube campaign ever. To ensure that these are all a success, it is imperative that the Forever Sports channels and platforms remain uncompromised. And with BITDEFENDER, we can be assured that our cybersecurity needs are being taken care of. To read more on BITDEFENDER, please be sure to check the links in the description of our video. Once again, thank you very much to our partner, BITDEFENDER, for joining the channel. I've been Reese here on Forever Sports. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, Stevie P here from Forever Sports, and I'm here to tell you about BOYLESPORTS, the official betting partner of Forever Sports. Across all of our channels, they are one of the leading betting companies in the world and have recently launched in South Africa with an amazing offering. You can get a 1,000 Rand welcome offer. For the rugby, they are giving you 25% payout boost up to 2,000 Rand on the Springboks winning the World Cup, as well as an extra 50 Rand bet when you stake 250 more on rugby during the Rugby World Cup. It is your one-stop betting shop. That is BOYLESPORTS. Come and join us in the community. Check the links in the description to sign up, get yourself an account, and make sure that you are winning big with BOYLESPORTS.
რომის წყობას თუ არა. ადამე დავიწყეთ გვერდი.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the second eve of match briefing of the day. This is Georgia eve of match briefing before their match against Fiji tomorrow at Stade de Bordeaux in Pool C. We are welcome on the top table with Lasha Jayani, Demur Tapladze, and Paul Tito, the line-out coach. Please raise your hand for the first question.
Demur, Lasha, პირველ კითხვა თქვენთან მექნება როგორ ემზადება გუნდი ხვალინდელი თამაშისთვის, ეხლა როგორი განწყობაა გუნდში და როგორ შეიარა დღევანდელმა კაპიტნის ვარჯიშმა. მადლობა.
მომზადება დავიწყეთ ესე იგი საკმაოდ ცოტა მძიმე და ობიექტური ვიდეო ანალიზებით და ჩემი აზრით კლიანმა მთელი კვირის მომზადებამ ძალიან კარგად ჩაიარა, ვიცით რაც გვაქვს გამოსასწორებელი წინა თამაშიდან გამომდინარე და ამაზე აქტიურად მუშაობდით. დღესაც კაპიტნის ვარჯიშმა ჩაიარა კარგად, არ იყო პატარ-პატარა სისტემური შეცდომები, ასევე უნარების წუნიც არ ყოფილა. ჩემი აზრით გუნდი კარგად არის გამზადებული და იმედია ამის გადატანას შევძლებთ ხვალინდელ თამაშს.
გუნდი მზად არის ამ თამაშისთვის, დიდი ხანია მომზადებით, ფიჯი კარგად შევისწავლეთ, გავიარეთ ყველა ტაქტიკური დეტალი და მზად ვართ ამ თამაშისთვის. ზოგადად კვირამ ძალიან კარგად ჩაიარა, მოვემზადეთ გუნდი და კაპიტნის ვარჯიშმაც იდეალურად ჩაიარა. ვემზადებით უკვე ხვალინდელი თამაშისთვის და უკვე ხვალ გამოჩნდება როგორ მოვემზადეთ და ჩვენი პატარა დეტალები როგორ გამოვასწორეთ.
Levan Mateshvili, BLiveG. I would like to ask the question in Georgian language with your permission. მოთამაშეებთან მექნება კითხვა. წარსულში ფიჯის ერთ-ერთი მთავარი პრობლემა და თავის ტკივილი უდისციპლინობა იყო, მაგრამ ამ მსოფლიო თასზე უკვე გამოჩნდა, რომ ამ კომპონენტში მკვეთრად გაუმჯობესებულები არიან და თამაში ნაკლებ ჯარიმასაც იღებენ. რას აპირებთ, რა უნდა დაუპირისპიროთ ფიჯის ასეთ მწყობრ და დალაგებულ თამაშს და ასევე მათ სწრაფ შეტევებს?
დიახ, ნამდვილად ძალიან მომატებული აქვს ამ გუნდს, როგორც ხედავთ შედეგებიდან გამომდინარეც. უდისციპლინობას რაც შეეხება, დიახ, გამოსწორებულია. ჩვენი მხრიდან რაც უნდა მოხდეს, არის რომ ჩვენ უნდა გქონდეს ძლიერი სტატიკური ფაზები, ეს იქნება შერკინება, აუტი და მოლი და ამაზე მუშაობდით თელი კვირის განმავლობაში. ჩვენ მათმა შეიძლება დისციპლინა გამოასწორეს, მაგრამ ჩვენ უნდა შევძლოთ, რომ მათზე უკეთესი დისციპლინა გქონდეს. სისტემაში თუ დავრჩებით და იმ გეგმას შევასრულებთ, რაც მოცემული გვაქვს. ჩემი აზრით, ამ თამაში შეიძლება თანაბრად თამაში და ამ თამაშის გამარჯვება და რაც მთავარია ფიჯისნაირ ფიზიკურ გუნდთან შეჯახებები უნდა მოვიგოთ. ეს იქნება გადამწყვეტი ხვალინდელი თამაშისთვის.
ფიჯი როგორც აღვნიშნეთ ძალიან გაძლიერდა მოუმატეს დისციპლინაში, სტატიკურ თამაშში. ამიტომ ჩვენ მაქსიმალურად ჩვენი შანსები უნდა გამოვიყენოთ, მაქსიმალურად უნდა შევეცადოთ, რომ დაალაგებული და სწორი რაგბით ჩვენ მოვემზადოთ და მოვუგოთ.
Luka, Georgian public broadcaster. I have a question for Tito, our line-out coach. We all know how important line-outs and mauls will be for the next game. How did Georgian team prepare for the matchup, who's been really good against both Australia and Wales while defending mauls?
Yeah, Fiji have done a great job. It's an area of their game they've really improved. It's our ability to call to the space to win our own ball, but to be better and finishing opportunities with our maul. We've spent a bit of time this week on focusing on this space. Fiji are a growing nation in this space. They've got great coaches in their group now, and they're really preparing their team well in this space. So I'm sure it'll be a great battle, and we look forward to it.
ირაკლი გოგვაძე, სააგენტო კრისტალ სპორტი. ბიჭებთან მექნება მე შეკითხვა, თამაშამდე არაერთხელ თქვენს ფიჯელებმა, რომ ეს შეხვედრა ჩვენთვის იქნება ფინალის ტოლფასიო და ნუ მათი მხრიდან ამ თამაშის წონა გასაგებია. კონკრეტულად ჩვენი გუნდის მიზანი რა არის ამ შეხვედრაში, რა გვინდა რომ მოვიღოთ ამ თამაშისგან და ასევე გულშემატკივრებიც ბლომად არიან ჩამოსული საქართველოსდან და ასევე საფრანგეთის სხვადასხვა რეგიონებიდან და ასევე გულშემატკივრებსაც მიმართოთ თუ შეიძლება მადლობა.
ზუსტად იგივეს ვიტყოდი ჩვენთვისაც ეს თამაში ფინალია და ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია ეს თამაში ჩვენთვის, რომ ის წარუმატებლო რაც გქონდა წინა კვირას ეგ ჩამოვრეცხოთ, მაგაზე უკვე ვილაპარაკეთ. რაც მნიშვნელოვანია ფიჯისნაირი გუნდის დამარცხების, რომელმაც უკვე ძალიან კარგად თამაშა ამ ჩემპიონატში, რაც შეგვიძლია ჩემი აზრით, ეს იქნება ძალიან დიდი სტიმულის მომცემი შემდეგი თამაშისთვის და უბრალოდ ის, რომ აი ზუსტად ამდენი ხალხი როა ჩამოსული პორტუგალიასთანაც, ავსტრალიასთანაც ამდენი გულშემატკივარი, გვინდა რომ ისინი გავახაროთ და მათ მიუძღოთ ეს გამარჯვება.
ჩვენთვის ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია, ჩვენთვისაც იგივენაირად ფინალი არის, მაგრამ ჩვენ ნაკლები წნეხი გვაქვს, ამიტომ უფრო მოტივირებულები ვართ ამ თამაშისთვის, უფრო კონცენტრირებულები ვართ, ჩვენ გვაქვს ჩვენი მიზანი, რომ ვაჩვენოთ ის თამაში, რაც უნდა გვეჩვენებინა აქამდე და ეს შრომა, აი ამდენ წლიანი შრომა უნდა დავაფასოთ და ჩვენ უნდა გადავდგათ ის ნაბიჯი და ჩამოყალიბდეთ იმ დიდ გუნდად, რომელიც გვინდა რომ ვიყოთ.
Any further question?
Yes, so you've been known for a strong scrum so far, and how do you evaluate, how do you see so far the way that your scrum has been working?
დიახ, გუნდებსაც ვისაც ვეთამაშეთ, საკმაოდ ყველა გუნდი ვინც საქართველოს ხდება საერთოდ ამ კომპონენტში ძალიან კარგად ემზადება, იმიტომ რომ ისიან რომ ეს არის ჩვენი ძალა. ორი სხვადასხვა სურათი გქონდა ავსტრალიასთან, რომელიც უფრო შედარებით მძიმე შერკინება ყავდა და პორტუგალიასთან, რომელიც ასევე კარგად დგა, თუმცა უფრო მსუბუქი ყავდა პორტუგალიასთან. ჩვენი აზრით რამდენიმე მომენტში ჩვენ არ გაგვიმართლა. რაზეც ვმუშაობდით ახლა ჩვენ და ეს კიდევ პროცესია არის, რომ ის დავალება შევასრულოთ, რასაც ჯგუფი დაისახავს, შერკინების ჯგუფს გულისხმობ და ჩვენთვის ახლა მნიშვნელოვანია, რომ ის საბაზისო უნარები რაც არის, ანუ კარგად შეკრულები ვიყოთ, დაბლა დავარტყათ, ემპაქტი მოვიგოთ, შეჯახება მოვიგოთ, ესეთი რაღაცეები ვარჯიშზე რასაც ვაკეთებთ, ეგ გადავიტანოთ თამაშზე. ეს იქნება ჩვენი მიზანი ამ თამაშისთვის და შემდეგი თამაშისთვისაც. და ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი კომპონენტია ეს ყოველთვის ჩვენთვის და ჩვენთვის რჩება შერკინება ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი კომპონენტად და თამაში ერთ-ერთი გარდამტეხი ნაწილი ალბათ თამაშის ეს კომპონენტიც იქნება.
My question to Mr. Tito, in the previous matches we played two totally different halves. It was very bad first half against Australia, but very good second half, and it was versus against Portugal. So how do you think, are we ready to play 80 minutes in this same style against Fiji?
Yeah, well, that's the challenge, isn't it? You know, we know that Fiji are going to play a lot of rugby and do what they do well, and we need to make sure that we're on our game for 80 minutes. You know, that looks like working hard for each other off the field, pushing up on chase lines. Our set piece has to be really accurate for 80 minutes, and we can't have that lull in performance that we've been having for, you know, the 10, 15 minutes, which is draining us of energy. So, you know, it's an 80-minute game, and we need to get out there and perform for those two halves. You know, we've looked really good at times, we've missed opportunities, we've left plenty of points out on the park, so the confidence within the group is still here, and we know when we put it all together, we can be a really successful team.
ბიჭებთან მექნება შეკითხვა ფიჯის კომენტარები, ფიჯელების კომენტარები მატჩამდე მოვისმინეთ. ძალიან დიდი პატივისცემით არიან განწყობილი ჩვენი გუნდის მიმართ, მოვისმინეთ მათი გუნდის მთავარი მწვრთნელის კომენტარიც, რომელმაც თქვა, რომ განვითარების ერთ დონეზე და ერთ სტადიაზე არიან ახლა საქართველო და ფიჯი. ბევრი ისაუბრეს მოკლედ მათ მომავალ ოპონენტზე, თქვენი აზრით საინტერესო არის მომავალ ოპონენტზე ფიჯის ნაკრებზე, რომელიც ბოლო პერიოდში ნამდვილად შესანიშნავ რაგბის აჩვენებს.
რა თქმა უნდა, სასიამოვნოა ამის მოსმენა და ჩვენს რა თქმა უნდა ფიჯის ნაკრებს დიდ პატივს ვცემთ, მაგიტომაც ვეკიდებით, მაგიტომაც ვამბობთ, რომ ეს თამაში არის ჩვენთვის ასეთ მნიშვნელოვანი, როგორც სხვა ყველა სანაკრებო თამაში, მაგრამ ეხლა განსაკუთრებით კიდევ ერთხელ გავიმეორებ, რომ ეს ჩვენთვის ერთგვარი ფინალივით იქნება. ბოლო დროს ძალიან მომატებული აქვს ფიჯის გარკვეული მიზეზების გამო არის ისედაც ვარსკვლავით დაკომპლექტებული შემადგენლობა ყავთ. ახალი გუნდი ყავთ სუპერ რაგბიში და ეს ყველაფერი მოქმედებს ამ გუნდზე. თუმცა ჩემი აზრით ჩვენ გვაქვს იმის შესაძლებლობა, რომ ამ გუნდს ბაჯობოთ თუ ჩვენ შევასრულებთ იმ დავალებასაც გვაქვს მოცემული, იმ შანსებს და შესაძლებლობებს, რაც გვექნება თამაში იმათ ბოლომდე გამოვიყენებთ და იმ პატარა შეცდომებს არ დაუშვებთ, რასაც აქამდე ვუშვებდით. თუმცა კიდევ ერთხელ ძალიან კარგად რაგბს თამაშობს ფიჯი, ძალიან საპატივცემულოა მათთან თამაში და იმედი მაქვს, რომ ძალიან კაი თამაში შედგება ხვალ.
ძალიან დიდი პატივისცემა გვაქვს ამ გუნდის მიმართ, ძალიან მაღალ დონეზე განვითარდნენ. ჩვენ ბოლო თამაშიდან ორივე გუნდი განვითარდით, ორივე გუნდმა შეძლო და დაამარცხა ტიერ-1-ის გუნდები და ვიმედოვნებ, რომ ხვანიდელი თამაში იქნება ერთ-ერთი ყველაზე განსაკუთრებული თამაში ამ მსოფლიო თასზე. ყოველ შემთხვევაში ვიმედოვნებ, იმიტომ რომ ორივესთვის მნიშვნელოვანი არის ეს თამაში და უნდა დავამტკიცოთ, რომელი უკეთესი არის და რომელმა უფრო მაგრად განიცადა განვითარება.
Any further question? Then thank you very much, gentlemen. That's the end of this press conference.
momentarily starting the press conference, and then in a moment skipper will join in. After followed by that, we have 4 starting players on the table for the press conference. Now I'll let the head coach announce our team against Georgia, and then the floor will be open for questions.
Okay, the team played Georgia: Ronnie Maui, Sam Matavesi, Luke Tange, Isoana Silasila, Tio Waru Kitabata, Lekima Tangitangivalu, Levani Batia, Williami Mata, Simeone Korovoli, Tekitala, Semi Ranranda, Joshua Tuisova, Wasaya Naitha Level, Celestino Ravatomanda, Ila Drosese. That's the starting 15. Reserves: Davida Ikinaveri, Benny Ravai, Samuel Tuake, Timo Mayana Runo, Albert Tuisui, Frank Lamani, Vilamani Botitu, Inaya Hambasi. That's the 23 to play Georgia.
Right, the floor is open for question and answers now. Thank you.
Could you talk us through the team? Talk us through it compared to the last game. Any changes? Anything?
There's a couple of changes there. Obviously, Jituwan Ngolo had an issue with his ankle, still recovering from that. We had Masaki Dongi had a HIA, and Samatoki came in for him. So they were the two changes to the team. We've gone for consistency with our selections, and looking forward to the match.
What type of game are you expecting from Georgia?
Oh, it's going to be a physical game. We know them quite well. We play them quite often. Very proud team. They'll come out, be very physical. Set piece will be a big challenge as well. So yeah, we understand the challenges in front of us.
Feels like you guys are every French fan's second favorite team. Do you feel it? Like, do you feel the support, and how do you explain you guys are so popular in France?
Yeah, well, we definitely feel the support. You can hear it at the stadiums, and we're very appreciative of it. We've obviously got our fans that travel very well, but I think we have a real connection with France. Obviously, Weiss is here. I've played here. I lived in France for 11 years, so we have a connection with France and the French people, and I think with their influence within the top 14 in the Pro de Deux, there's a connection there. So I think, I think it's got a lot to do with how the boys play, the spirit that they play in. So yeah, we definitely feel the support, and we appreciate it.
Same question for you. You've been playing here in France for a very long time. Do you feel something special about being
every day? Yeah, France is special place, and yeah, happy to be in here and to play the Rugby World Cup here in France with great support from the people, and yeah, thanks for their support as well.
So you've had a big break between the last game and this game. Some people might say the first 2 games were the bigger of the 2. Is there any danger of perhaps underestimating, or is that not a mindset that comes into?
We don't listen to what other people think about the matches. We take one match at a time, and we respect each team that we play. And there's no harder or easier games. Georgia is a very, very tough team. So we've had that mindset since we started, just taking one task at a time. I think the break came at a good time. The boys were a little bit tired, and it's good to have mentally refresh, and we prepared well this week. So yeah, we've gone into this week understanding what the challenge is, and we're prepared for that.
Anything particular you've been doing that's a little bit different to get that fresher?
Yeah, I think we recovered well last week. Gave the boys a couple of days off, just so they could freshen up and get away from not get away from the rugby, but just not been able to have to think and train every day. So we freshened them up last week. The great thing about this team, we've asked them from the beginning, when we work, and they've come in really well. Had a good training session today, so yeah, we've got the captain's run tomorrow, and yeah, looking forward to the match.
About the Fiji Drua, your team in Super Rugby, how much of an help is it to have a team in Super Rugby playing intense match every week for the national team now? And
yeah, it's very good. It's very young, and it's in his development. It's only the second year, but we've already seen improvements, and you can see with the squad selection, we've got players that are coming in, and I think it's improved the numbers that we have in our pathways. There's an extra 30, 35, 40 players that are playing at the top level of Super Rugby, integrated into the guys that are already playing top level over here in Europe. So bringing them together, it's a great mix. But like I said, once we come into this environment, we're not the drill, we're not our club teams, we're the Flying Fijians. And that's our mindset. We come together, we're very close, and it's obviously a benefit, but I think you'll see the most benefits in probably 5-7 years, maybe the next World Cup, the following World Cup. That's when you're going to have these boys that are playing there coming through in the next generation as well.
So, Georgia, they have some pretty unusual stats. They have the most offloads after 3 rounds of this World Cup, and one of the teams with the least number of rucks. So, what does that tell you about this Georgia? Are they mixing things up now?
Oh, they're a very good team. They're fit. They've obviously prepared well. They like I said, they're a very physical team. They love to play with that physicality. Something that we like to do as well. It's I think we're in the similar stages of our development. We're in, looking to get further, move up further with bigger matches outside the World Cup. We have the utmost respect for Georgia, what they're doing. We understand it's going to be a very tough match.
Sorry, on another note, just Judah and Wes, are they okay?
Yeah, they're okay. They're recovering. So Juta's ankle still a bit sore. Needs some a little bit more time. He's in medical protocol at the moment with his ankle. Misaki came out of his HIA protocol yesterday, so he's back available for selection.
Simon, you talked during the last press conferences about how you wanted your team to reconnect, about who they are, where they come from.
Yep.
Is this something that has always been natural for you to be able to unite a team, to unite players?
I think it's something that we've lost a little bit. I think because we come from different places, different clubs, Europe, Japan, Australia, the Drua. Sometimes we come in with only 1 week's preparation, and you have your natural friends or something. So one of the things when I got the role, I wanted to really bring the boys together and make it a group, make it a Flying Fijians group, make it what was their purpose, why they're doing it, who they're doing it for. And that was one of my things, to try and cultivate that and try and bring that in, and I think they've taken that over. The culture, the leadership within the group is fantastic, led by Weiss, and it's a really self-driven group at the moment, and we're there just to guide them along. And I think the more we develop that, the more successful we'll have. So it's been a real priority for us with all those things that you said.
And I think when you were coaching in France, sometimes you were welcoming new Fijian players,
yep.
Even at your place. Is this also part of your education and your culture?
Yeah, I think with Fiji, it's I think the Pacific as well is very unique. It's a very communal way of living, and what is mine is not just mine. It's ours. So we share. So when I lived in France, I had lots of knocks on the doors. Is it available can we have people come in? And we always, it's the same for the boys. When we come down, the door is just a door. It's like to come into the family. So the Fijian community way of life is we share things. So yeah, over the years, we've had quite a few for the boys live in the house, but it's always a pleasure.
You come to Fiji, they will receive you with your
yeah. So if you come to Fiji, you come stay at my house.
So just one last question for me. How much has the Fijian team changed since the last time they played Georgia?
Oh, so when was the exact time we played? It was 2021. So that was a difficult period. It was obviously with COVID, so it was I think staff couldn't travel north, and we had to bring groups in. So I think both teams are more settled now because we've obviously had a good preparation. I think both teams have developed and gotten better. So it should be a really good match. I think it's two teams that, like I said, physical, their ball play, and you saw last week when Georgia played against Portugal, like to play with the ball, got to the edges as well. So yeah, it's going to be a tough challenge.
Any more questions? Good. All right, thank you, coach and skipper. Thank you very much for your
Good. I'll send Weiss's address. I'll send Weiss's address for. You can stay with him in Toulon and Fiji. Vinaka.
for M6. So we get the impression that we get the impression that you are the darlings in France. You are one of the preferred teams here. So, do you feel at home here in France? It seems like the public adores you. Hello, Anne Currie from Radio France. So you could qualify for the quarterfinals. Is this the first time you've had such a strong team?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. My name is Mark. You're joining me live now, of course, for this coverage of Fiji versus Georgia. Another World Cup match here on Forever Sports. And be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Great to have you all here. And be sure to let me know in the comments where you're watching from and, of course, what you think is going to happen today in this match. Fiji, of course, easily got great ground to make up to try and go and get their first ever quarterfinal in the World Cup. And of course, let's go and immediately look at that Fiji team that's going to be playing today, of course. And let's see who's going to make up that squad that could potentially go and take them to the quarterfinals if they should win today. Right, okay, so that is the Fijian team that will be taking the field today. Of course, a very strong and powerful side. Now, I alluded to just before that break there that Fiji, of course, can go and confirm their place in the quarterfinals of the Rugby World Cup for their first time ever in their history. Now, how can they do it? They have to win today with a bonus point. That's all they have to do. Doesn't matter about anything else. They beat Australia. Australia is the only team who can get to the same number of points as Fiji. And if Fiji manage to get 5 points today, they'll move to 11. Australia currently on 6. If they win their last game with a bonus point, they'll move to 11. But because Fiji beat Australia, Fiji will go through. So that's all Fiji needs to do today. Win with a bonus point. Sounds so easy, doesn't it? But if they do manage to do so, then they guarantee themselves their first ever quarterfinal. And that is why it's such a historic day for the Fijians. So very, very keen to see what they can do today. So go into the comments here and great to see all of you guys joining me here. I'm very happy to have you all here alongside me. And be sure to, again, let me know where you're watching from. Ask me questions. Anything, absolutely any questions, I will answer. I will check the messages. I will go and check the comments. I'm always going to do that. I love doing that for all of you. See, we've got a couple of people here in the comments saying, so we've got Diala here saying it's the South versus the Northern Minnows. SA Rugby here saying Fiji will surely win this. Diala here saying, but I always support the South. Each Pacific Island has its own haka and style. And Buffalo saying Georgia got the beef. Indeed, Georgia are quite a strong side though from Europe. So of course they'll be watched with lots of interest as well today, because I do think they'll sort of try to get some physicality involved in the game. And I certainly think Fiji won't have an easy game for it. But, of course, skill set-wise, Fiji are the better side. So let's see exactly what happens today. Just going through the poll that we've got running, we've got who will win this clash. We've got Fiji, Georgia, and a draw. Fiji getting 90% of the votes so far. Georgia only 8%, and a draw getting 2%. So really not backing Georgia at all in this game. So Fiji very much the favourites for it. And why wouldn't they? At this point in time, they are actually a top eight nation. And they could very well, if they keep this form up, make their way into maybe even semi-final rounds. I mean, this is really, really scary stuff. They're talking about Fiji managing to actually even think about semis. I mean, it's pretty much, provided they win today with a bonus point, guaranteed, of course, they will go to the quarterfinals. And they'll have relatively easier opposition out of all of the quarterfinalist opponents, because they're not having to play the likes of France, Springboks, New Zealand, or Ireland. So those 4 teams, they don't have to play them in the semi-finals. They're going to play either England, or Argentina, depending on where they should finish up, of course, in those pools. So it's not easy teams to play against for Fiji, but nonetheless, they'd back themselves more against those two to make a semi-final. And then we know from semi-finals, anything can happen. So very, very exciting sort of thing. So, but nonetheless, Fiji do have to play against Georgia first, and that's their big task. And let's just look at a couple of head-to-head things here between these two nations. So they've played against each other 6 times in total. Fiji have won 4 times. Georgia have only won once, and there has been a draw. The last time they played ended in a draw. It was at Estadio El Bellete in Aranjuez, Madrid. And it was 15-all in that game in 2021. Otherwise, the 3 previous encounters before that game, Fiji won all 3 of them by quite some margin. 38-24, 45-10, and 37-15. So, yeah, relatively comfortable. Fiji have won most of those games. And going into this game, of course, they are easy favourites. And they're looking very, very dangerous. And quite frankly, no side really wants to play against Fiji right now, because they do have the means to beat you. As they saw against Australia, they managed to get that win there. Brilliant win for Fiji there. But, of course, let's look at the other pools whilst we build up to this game. Of course, we've had a couple of other matches happen today. We, of course, had the earlier fixture between Chile and Argentina. Argentina won that very comfortably with a bonus point, which means they move up to 9 points. Then our second in that table, Japan and Argentina, both on 9 points. So it's going to be all to play for in the last match next week as to who should go through, Japan or Argentina. Let me know in the comments, of course, who do you think is going to go through. Of course, England should be relatively comfortable going through in Pool D. So just looking through Pool D right now, Chile on 0, Samoa on 6, Japan on 9, Argentina on 9, and England on 14. In Pool C, of course, which is where we'll find Fiji and Georgia, we see Portugal on 2 points, Georgia on 2 points, Australia on 6, Fiji on 6, and Wales on 14. And then go to Pool B, Romania 0, Tonga 0, Scotland 5, South Africa 10, and Ireland 14. We go to then Pool A, And last place, Namibia, of course, on 0. Uruguay with 5 points. Italy on 10. New Zealand on 10. And France with 13 points. So it's pretty much guaranteed that Italy are going home, unless they can do something against France, which will then send the hosts home. So could see some very, very interesting things happening there. But I doubt it. So what's looking like our quarterfinals at this point is France, New Zealand will be going through from Pool A. Ireland, South Africa from Pool B. Wales and Fiji from Pool C, and Pool D is between 3, of course. England the most likely to go through there, but Argentina and Japan still a little bit of a question mark over who goes through there. So let's let me know in the comments, guys. What sort of matches do you want to see? Do you want to see Springboks play against Ireland? Do you want to see Springboks play against the All Blacks? What are the sort of clashes you want to see in the quarterfinals? What are the sort of clashes you want to see in the semis? Those are all the very interesting things we can also talk about. Diana here is just saying, I tease to at Buffalo, I tease a lot. It's bye-bye Eddie Jones, and the Aussies are planning a farewell party. Well, it's pretty much all but confirmed that the Australians will be going home in this World Cup in the pool stages, so really not a great outing for them this year, and I'm sure we'll see a much improved Australia in the next World Cup, but that's only 4 years away. Of course, Fiji are the ones who are going to be taking them out. Now, looking further at some of the match-to-match, head-to-head stats, rather, between Fiji and Georgia in match 29 of this Rugby World Cup 2023. Fiji are looking to win a back-to-back Rugby World Cup matches for the first time since 2007. The last time that they did reach the quarterfinal stage, of course. So let's see if they can win with a bonus point, and if they can go further than these quarterfinal matches. Both matches at the Rugby World Cup 2023 have been decided by 7 points or fewer for Fiji. Only 6 of their first 32 games between 1987 and 2019 featured this narrow margin at full time. They have never played 3 straight games where the full time margin has been 7 points or fewer. So I don't think we're going to see that break being broken today either, as I do believe Fiji will get quite a few points on Georgia. However, we now look at Georgia's Rugby World Cup notes. It'll be 20 years on the 12th of October 2023 since Georgia made their Rugby World Cup debut against England at Superbru Oval in Perth in the Rugby World Cup 2003. Georgia played their first Rugby World Cup draw last game, 18 points against 18. 18 against 18, obviously playing against Portugal. This will be only the 4th time that they have played Pacific Island opposition at the Rugby World Cup after a 46-9 loss against Samoa in 2003 and a 17-10 victory against Tonga in 2015 and a 45-10 defeat by Fiji in 2019, the previous World Cup. So, of course, they meet each other again in this World Cup. So let's see what the Georgian team is going to be doing today and whether they can sort of pull off a massive surprise against the team that everybody's been hyping up and believing in for this World Cup as the underdogs of each World Cup. Of course, every World Cup we have that team that comes through and does something that we didn't expect. Fiji is that team this World Cup. Everyone's hyping them up, but can Georgia do something to spoil the party and prevent Fiji from going through, and then maybe giving Australia a massive chance at trying to get something at the very end? And maybe they can actually go through to the quarterfinal stages. Here is, however, the Georgian team. Right, so there we have it. That is your Georgian outfit that has been named for this clash between them and Fiji, of course. The match is going to get underway in just 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And it's going to be a very exciting match. Of course, they've got to do the anthems. They then got to go and do a haka of sorts, or a traditional war dance, whatever you call it from Fiji. I don't quite know what it's called exactly, but they've got to do that. And then, of course, we'll get going with the game. So let me know, guys, where you guys are tuning in from. Be sure to like that video. Please smash that like button. It really does mean a lot to me and the channel, of course, at large. And again, great to have you guys here, and I'd love to see you in the comments. Ask me some questions. We're trying to build a really, really nice rugby community here where everyone can ask each other questions, get to know each other, and just free to speak basically about what you want. In this clash here, Fiji and Georgia, I'm going to give my prediction, and then I want you guys to try and give your predictions in terms of scoreline in the comments as well. I'm going to say Georgia will lose to Fiji, and Fiji will score 45 points to Georgia's 10. That's what I reckon is going to happen. 45 points to 10. We've got Keegan here joining from Durban. Great to have you, Keegan. Really, really does mean a lot, you guys tuning into this channel. And if you guys haven't seen me before, my name is Mark, and I am taking you through today's match between Fiji and Georgia, and it is sure to be a good one. So, of course, we did have the early game between Argentina and Chile. If you guys did watch that, of course, it was with Rudy earlier. On the channel. Be sure to go and let me know in the comments as well what you thought of that game. And yeah, maybe we'll see some surprises in this game. We didn't see surprises in that game. Argentina thrashed Chile. But I'm sure Georgia might put up a little bit more of a fight, I'm hoping, in this game. So we'll see if that does actually happen, as we are very close to kick off. And be sure to go and check out our channel sponsors, of course, in the comment section, in the chat as well. You've got BOYLESPORTS and BITDEFENDER there. BOYLESPORTS, you can go and bet. And let me know if you guys do place bets, who are you betting on, and what are your odds and otherwise, and what are you hoping to see? Keegan Anderson here saying a huge victory to Fiji by 80 points. So you're saying an 80-point victory so that's quite a thing. So we might see if that will be the case. I don't think it'll be that big a victory, though, unfortunately. But I'm sure that we'll see Fiji and Georgia fight it out for what will be a good encounter, I think. As we do see both teams now lining up and getting ready for the start of this clash here. And I just want to pull up my players so that I actually have access to them, as I want to see what they all look like, because I don't know if you guys know, but my word, is it very difficult to pronounce some of these names on both sides. So I'm going to say this right now, and this is going to be very upfront about it, and say I will stuff some of these names up. I will try my best. I might not pronounce them as I'm supposed to, or as they're supposed to be pronounced, and for that I do apologize. We're all going to learn together. We're all going to get through it, and we're all going to have a fantastic time here watching this game. I just want to get a little bit of my volume here. There we go. And of course, we're seeing that Fiji are going to receive the ball from Georgia. Georgia playing from left to right. And let me just see what's happening here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Teti Tella has got the ball in his hands. Tella, of course, for Georgia. He'll be kicking into the Fijians' half. Captain Nariashvili has given the go-ahead to the referee, as has the captain for Georgia, YC Nayakalavu. So we are all set and ready for this match. Here we go. I'm hoping if the referee would blow his whistle. I've jumped the gun a little bit. We're going to get there. There we go. The match officials, Carl Dixon, will be the main ref. Yaku Paper is on the side as well, just for interest's sake. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This 29th match of Rugby World Cup 2023 is underway, and Fiji immediately split it backwards, apparently, according to the ref, but really, really unneat by Fiji there. And there we go, Lobjanidze, sorry, I mean, I'll get there eventually, sorry. Kurvoli, of course, takes the ball out and hits it forward for Fiji. It goes out around about the halfway line, so it's a good clearance for Fiji. And we'll have the first line out of the game straight away on Yaku Paper's far side of the field. It'll be in favor of Georgia. So Georgia are going to try and front up against Fiji, I feel, with their forwards. And it does go in. It's a great lineup by Georgia, and immediately taken out. And we're going to have a kick straight. Oh, it's quite sliced off the side of his foot there by Tella. Well, not by Tela, sorry, by Matkva. And it is taken, though, by Fiji, by Georgia. So they're still motoring forward in a huge hit in midfield there by the props against the opposition. And a chip in behind. It's very, very deep, though. It's going to be marked by Fiji, I'm sure. And a mark is called, indeed, by Ilyasa Drawasese. So he has called mark here. And it'll be a small, well, either kick towards touch. And it does kick towards touch. It's a really big mishit, and it's just bouncing in the midfield here. It's picked up by Georgia, and it's going to go straight up again by Matkava. And Matkava sends it up as a brilliant kick right on the edge of the 22. And it comes to the captain, Wayasia Nayakalevu, and he grabs it forward for his own chase, but not going to be able to get there. Now here comes Georgia on the attack. It's the fullback, Mobadetse. And he comes down, and now comes forward Lojanidze, who takes the ball out, passes to his forwards. Lojanidze again on the ball, passing through to the forwards. And then we've got a little bit of a break for Fiji, but not for Georgia, but not quite managed to get through. But Georgia certainly started this game a lot better than Fiji might have hoped they would. And here we go. Can Georgia convert here? Here we go. They're coming along the back line. There's numbers. And it comes to the winger here. And they've got his outside winger on the outside, but he's misplaced the pass. And there's a huge tackle also made by Kuruvoli on the number 14, Akaki Tabudzadze. So a great start by Georgia. They should have probably scored there. They almost stuffed it up, but they had lots of numbers. Managed to get numbers out wide. Great passes through the hands. Came to both wingers on the edge here. And then almost a brilliant tackle, I think it is. I just want to see who makes that tackle from Fiji. But just manages to hit the ball as he collects the ball, old Tabudzadze for Georgia. And I think it was the number 8, Mata, who manages to get his hands on the ball and just force a little bit of a fumble from Georgia there. So it'll be a scrum here to Fiji on the 5-meter line. Pack weights. Fiji are much bigger than Georgia. 921 kilograms versus 874. So we're expecting a huge scrum here from Fiji, which should dominate quite easily against this Georgian pack. And the scrum is underway, and it's a penalty immediately to Fiji. Georgia just overextending, unfortunately, losing their footing completely. Penalty straight to Fiji, and I think we're going to see that for much of the game. Set pieces, Fiji will come out on top in the scrums at least. I'm not so sure the lineouts necessarily, but certainly in the scrum scenario, Fiji are the favourites. So, Tela kicks it for the line, but he's missed the line completely. Now comes to Mabudzadze, who's running forward. And we saw him do very well earlier for Georgia, and already Georgia are attacking Fiji's 22-meter line again. Although I think this is going to be it's not releasing the tackle there. And penalty right in front of the posts and in front of the 22-meter line in favour of Georgia. So Fiji really not starting this game very well at all. And the one that's getting penalised, I believe, is Luke Tagi. I think, or was it Botia of Fiji there? The number 7, yeah, Botia, the number 7, I believe. Yeah, indeed. He was the one that got penalized, Levani Botia. And so now Georgia have opted for the kick. They will be kicking 4 posts, and if they get over, they'll be in the lead, which I think nobody called, as we do see our poll is still going on, and 89% of the votes still believe Fiji are winning this clash. So very much in favor of Fiji. Let's see if it's actually going to end that way. Again, guys, please let me know in the comments. And if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe and then comment. Where are you watching from? What your thoughts are on the World Cup so far, the refereeing standards, etc., etc. And, of course, ask me some questions as well. I'm very happy to answer anything and everything that goes under the sun. And the kick is made by Matkava, and it goes straight through the middle. And Georgia lead this game 3 points to 0 after 5 minutes. So, Fiji will now restart the game here. It's Teti Tela with the ball in hand. He puts it into the Georgia 22. They almost spill it, but it comes from the big number 5, Konstantin Mikautadze. And he goes through and managed to make about 5 meters worth of ground before now it's been being controlled by Lobjanidze, who puts the ball up for everyone to chase. It's a good kick, and it's spilt by Mata of Fiji. And here comes Georgia, and they've got the outside chip, but he opted not for the pass. Very, very stupid decision personally by Niniashvili, who should have taken that ball in. But anyway, nonetheless, Georgia are still attacking Fiji's line here. They're on the 22-meter line. Here they come, trying to break forward. All the Australian fans are going to be loving this so far, although that's going to be a brilliant steal on Fiji's side there. Fantastic turnover for Fiji, and there's a penalty to them for holding on. Just want to see the player who makes the turnover. It is a brilliant steal there. I think by the winger of Radraja. I don't know how you say it. Something like that. Radraja, I think it is. And Fiji now kick for the line, and just making certain of getting it out, not getting much distance at all, barely out of their 22-meter line. Georgia started this game like a house on fire. I didn't see this coming at all. I don't know about the rest of you at home. Let me know your thoughts. Chris van der Paper here in the comments saying, hello, boys and girls. Indeed, hello, welcome to the stream. As Fiji have completely stuffed up their line out, went too far, they tried to get a hand to it. Now comes to Georgia, who are coming forward. They've got space on the outside here. It comes to the number 13, Demur Tabladze, and he's gone down just outside Fiji 22. And Fiji are offsides. I think it will be an advantage to Georgia, surely. I think there was offsides. Apparently not, says the ref, so they're going to continue playing on here without that advantage. Georgia really attacking Fiji's line right now, and you didn't think this was going to happen. Comes to the big number 7, Beka Saganadze, and of course now taken out by Lobjanidze, who passes through to his forwards. They're just trying to bounce their way through Fiji, and Fiji are struggling here in phase 5. Now setting up phase number 6 in this attack. Fiji have barely got into Georgia's half. And now Georgia trying the backline moves again. They've got numbers out wide, but they don't choose not to utilize and Fiji trying to turn that ball over, but not able to. So Lobjanidze will take the ball out again for Georgia as they attack Fiji's 22-meter line. It's phase number 9 coming up now for Georgia indeed. And it's right on the 22-meter line in the middle of the field. Now they've got a little bit of space out wide. They're trying to play through the back line. They've got lots of numbers. They're trying to shift it quickly. It comes to the number 13 of Tabladze for Georgia. And they've made about 10 meters towards Fiji's try line. And they really are motoring forward here. This could be a big turning point in this World Cup. Could Fiji suddenly see a resilient Georgia go and beat them as they keep motoring towards their line? They're just about 10 meters out. They've got numbers out wide. They cut for the inside. Oh, and it's knocked on, and it's a forward pass by Georgia from all their brilliant play. A stupid mistake in the end to end that piece of play. But otherwise, it was fantastic to watch by Georgia. And I think the Australians are loving it as well because, of course, Australia have the slightest chance of still going through in this World Cup. But Fiji should lose this game and Australia win theirs. They will go ahead of Fiji, and Fiji still have another match to play, of course. But it's against the mighty Wales. No, it's not against Mount Wales. They've lost to Wales already. But they will, of course, play against Portugal. I still think Portugal will beat them, which will be fine. But if they lose this, it gives Australia the smallest chance of going through still. But nonetheless, Georgia are really going at Fiji so far. And I think it's starting to kill all the critics' comments, perhaps, about saying, oh, Fiji are going to be the ones to watch this World Cup. Well, they're really struggling against Georgia. Look at this. Georgia's made 2 tackles so far in 10 minutes. Fiji have made 29. Doesn't that just tell you something? Fiji are really having to try and struggle against this onslaught by the European Georgians. It's Northern Hemisphere versus Southern Hemisphere. And right now, Northern Hemisphere are in the lead. I didn't think this was going to happen. And quite frankly, my voice is starting to get a little bit dry already, which I didn't think should happen. But I do have a glass of water, and I've got a fridge right next to me. I'm going to grab me a cold bit of water. It's even ice, if I should so please. And the scrum is taken, and it's a penalty to Fiji there. Big scrum by Fiji, and they do get the penalty from that scrum. And yeah, they will now kick for the line. But Fiji have still yet to get out of their own half. Georgia have kept pinning them back the whole time. So the ball has gone out just before the 10-meter line. Again, really not making much distance on these kicks are Fiji. Yaku Paper here, the South African on the side here, lifting his flag up for the line out to be had. So can Fiji now create something? They've got the ball in their hand. They had a terrible line out last time out. They've gone again, and it's another terrible one. And Georgia immediately pounced. And it's a brilliant little dart there from Georgia. And here they come. They've spotted gaps. They're trying to come forward through the centres. Georgi Kvedzaladze, I can't say his name properly. The number 12 comes forward. And Georgia still on the attack here, but huge hits coming from Fiji as well. And potentially a brilliant turnover. Indeed, it is a brilliant turnover by Samuel Matavesi. And now here come Fiji. They've kicked it forward. They're going to run in behind. It's Semi Radraja trying to run in behind and trying to make that tackle. He doesn't get there. And Georgia do eventually take this ball down. But Fiji are going to try and ruck over here. But Georgia doing exceptionally well to get back just on the side of their 22-meter line. Finally, Fiji are in the Georgians' half. And Georgia will have managed to secure this ball at least, and will set up the... this is very bizarre what I just watched there. They just pretty much stopped play for 2 seconds, waited for Fiji to make contact. Georgia waiting for them to make contact inside the 22-meter line, of course. And now Lobjanidze has put the ball out of play just outside the halfway line, inside Georgia's half. Got an injury down the back play here for Georgia. They seem to be quite concerned about him. Just wanted to see where it came from. Just watching again, Fiji really stuffing up at line-out time. But Georgia should have scored a try by now. They've really had their opportunities. And they've capitalized in terms of trying to get the ball from Fiji's mistakes. They've done so multiple times already, but they cannot seem to get through Fiji's defense. So for all that Fiji are really stuffing around, their defense is at least holding and keeping Georgia from getting further ahead. But at the moment, they really do need to find their footing and get into this game a little bit more. But it will be their line-out inside Georgia's half. But we're just waiting on this injury to get dealt with here for Georgia. And it is a bit of a serious one. There's a stretcher out there. There's 7 or 8 people around the player. They're already making a substitution. It's the hooker there for Georgia, Tengizi Zantaradze. He is the one down, injured, not looking very good for him. I'm hoping he's all right. He seems to be fine, but I think he is going to be forced off the field. Although he gets up now, holding his arm. Seems like maybe he popped a shoulder. The stretcher is making its way off the field. He's just making his way off the field as well, I think, and that's going to be the end of his day, unfortunately for him. I think he popped the shoulder or otherwise. And yeah, the replacement is made. Now Nioradze comes on in his place, the number 16. Buffalo here joining us from Cape Town. Great to have you here in the comments. Great to see some people commenting where they are coming from. And be sure to keep going, guys, with that. Buffalo, what do you think the final score will be here today? I'm very interested to know your thoughts. And once again, Fiji stuffs up their line-out, but it's knocked on by Lobjanidze of Georgia, who managed to get the ball yet again. But now Fiji come forward with a knock-on advantage currently in their favor, but I think the advantage is over. But they've got numbers out wide here for Fiji. Comes to the big captain. He tries to bounce his way through, but not able to. Georgia's defense holding for now on their 10-meter line inside their own half. And yeah, Fiji now starting to get into this game in the 12th minute. Ball is taken down, and unfortunately, an offsides from one of the props of Georgia, and a terrible pass. And I think they're going to come back for the penalty just inside Georgia's half there as a result of that. Now, what did Fiji do here? Because the kicking for the Lions not been brilliant, if I'm honest. So they might well take a shot. Indeed, they do take a shot. And it will be Kuruvoli, the number 9, who will have a crack at the post to get 3 points on the board for Fiji. So it's going to be an interesting match for the rest of it at this point, because Georgia are really holding up very, very well. People were predicting a whitewash victory for Fiji, and not the case at all so far. Fiji really having to struggle their way through so far. 13 minutes, and they've barely made it into Georgia's half. Only in the last couple have they managed to penetrate the Georgian defense a little bit and have a bit of ball in hand. So Simeon Kuruvoli will take the kick here for Fiji. Willie slotted through the middle. He takes his pose. He's got 13 seconds left on the clock. And still got lots of time on the clock here. 10, 8, 7, 6. And now he starts his very extravagant build-up. And he misses it by a good 10 meters. And Georgia come forward. They kick the ball forward towards the line. It's a good kick, is it? No, it's not out. So Fiji will now take the ball on the halfway line. It comes to Mata, the big number 8, tries to drive his way through. Georgia do stop him just past the halfway line. And now Kuruvoli, who just missed the kick, managing at the ruck here for Fiji, takes the ball out, passes to his forwards. They're still trying to struggle their way forward. Might well be called maul this. I think the ref might have to call it as maul, but no, the ball is available. The ball comes up, but it's a penalty to Fiji, and it's tapped very quickly by the prop. He's motoring his way forward. Look at this. And it was brilliant there by Luke Tagi, but unfortunately he's lost the ball as a result, and now Georgia have the ball on the wing. It comes to Akaki Tabudzadze, and he's taken down on his 10-meter line inside. So very scrappy game so far. Lots of handling errors from either side and changes of possession. Fiji desperately trying to get over this ball here, and it is a penalty to Fiji for holding on. Brilliant steal there from, I want to see who it is. I think it is Ironi Maui. No, it's not. It's once again Levani Botia who makes the turnover. Fantastic turnover for him there, and just loving watching here Luke Tagi take the ball, tap the ball, and just runs forward in full stride. He's one of the biggest players in the field, also by country miles. Brilliant to see. Fiji this time have opted to go for the line from this penalty, not for posts, and it's gone out just about 15 meters away from Georgia's try line. Can they score here? Let me know in the comments. So action area so far, 32% of the game spent inside Fiji's 22, 33% inside the part between the 22 and the halfway line in Fiji's half, 30% in Georgia's half to 22, and only 2% inside Georgia's 22. But now that number's going to increase as Fiji are inside the 22 here after that line out. They've managed to get a clean line out, and now they're driving forward with all their players and all their might and strength. And can they get over this Georgian line? They're about 20 meters out right now. It comes to the big number 12, Joshua Tuisova, and he's taken down and actually driven back a little bit. And now here comes Fiji trying something interesting. Comes to the big number 8, Mata, who makes 5 meters forward. And penalty has been called, I think. Oh no, I think we've got an injury down back play. Fijians are just making a bit of noise about it, but they've stopped the game as a result of this injury. Seems to be a little bit of a problem here for Georgia. Already 2 injuries for Georgia. One's been forced off the field. That was Zamtaradze, the number 2, who's already been replaced by Nyoradze. And now we're seeing an injury again to Georgia, and it's falling a little bit like flies right now. So just having a little bit of a break in play on the 16-minute mark, and it looks like another sub is going to come onto the field. And yes, once again, it's another injury here for Georgia that they're not going to be able to get back onto the field. Just want to see where this injury might have come from. I think something nasty happens to us. Oh, no, I don't want to watch. 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 No, that's horrible. That's overextension of the knee. He is not making his way back onto this field. Not a chance. And that's a horrible injury there for Georgia. I really didn't want to see that. That was disgusting. So, unfortunately, Jayani will make his way off the number 4 for Georgia after that horrible injury. And he will be replaced by Chiashvili off the bench for Georgia. So already 2 injuries that have forced players off for Georgia in this game, and yeah, falling a little bit here, and Fiji will of course gain a lot of dominance from that, and I think it just shows how physical this Fijian side is. Quite a lot of Georgian support here in the crowd, great to see. Tackles made, Georgia now starting to make a lot more, of course, as Fiji have now got the ball in their hands. 24 tackles made by Georgia now, compared to previously when I said they'd only made 2. So just seeing here, the golf cart make its way onto the field for that stretcher so they can get him off. They're going to lift him up. It's going to be a hell of a lift here from these medical staff. And there's a beautiful, beautiful moustache on this Georgian player. I can't remember what his name is, but my word, it's even got the twill and everything. It's absolutely beautiful to see. And I love the dedication. Yeah, guys, be sure to spam the comments if you really want with some questions and otherwise, and just have some chats as well amongst yourselves is also completely fine, or you can ask me questions and I'm very happy to answer as best I can to my opinion and otherwise factual knowledge. Yeah, I think this game's been a little bit scrappy so far, but Georgia's certainly trying to get their way into the game and trying to pounce upon Fiji's mistakes, but they've been unable to do so. And I think as a result of that early pressure in the game not being converted, now Fiji are finding their footing. And now there's a scrum in the middle of the field here in favour of Fiji because that's how they're going to play, of course, after stopping the game for no advantage or otherwise. So Fiji have now set the scrum. It's been very, very good, the scrums. And here we go. And Mata takes the ball out and passes to a scrum off who tried it. Oh, my word. And Fiji has spilt it forward. It's been a knock-on. But now Georgia come away with the ball. It's an advantage to Georgia, but now they just chuck the ball a little bit weirdly. But inside the 22, they've got possession of the ball. It's the scrum half, Lobjanidze, who takes the ball in. But now it's going to be managed by him as well. He's managed to get off the floor. And he's kicked it forward. It's a good kick. It's not out, though. And now here come Fiji. On the attack. It comes to big number 14, Ravutaumada, who's trying to make his way through, passes to his captain, who gets a little bit of a high stretch on him, but it's not deemed to be a high tackle. But Fiji coming again inside Georgia's half on the 10-meter line, and the ball is spilt outside of that tackle there. And now just trying to get past these tackles with Taylor. He passes through to his forwards, and once again we're seeing Tagi come forward in great fashion. And Fiji just spilling it a little bit now. And it's very, very messy. Georgia making a tackle eventually on the fullback of Droa Sese. And it's a penalty to Georgia on the halfway line. So Georgia get away from it. And brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Georgia so far. Really forcing Fiji backwards. Diana, you're saying, lost my milk teeth at Newlands. Interesting. And Remy here just saying, just joined. Did you just imply an injury? There are 2 injuries to Georgia. 2 injuries to Georgia already. The number 2 and the number 4, Zamtaradze of Georgia and Gianni of Georgia have both made their way off the field as a result of injuries that will not be able to continue this match. So 2 early injuries for Georgia, and hopefully they'll get the team going. And that little steal there, that penalty in their favour is going to do some huge wonders for them. And they've opted for the kick here. Matkava is going to kick a huge kick here. This is a good 53, 50, maybe 55 metre kick for Georgia, just in their own half still. And it will be a hell of a kick he managed to get it over. He's got 22 seconds left on the penalty shot clock. David Naniashvili, actually takes the kick here apparently. He's got a bigger boot than Matkava. And the ball's going. It's got the distance. My word, will it have the accuracy though? It does have the accuracy. Brilliant kick by Niniashvili. David Niniashvili. That is, of course, not the captain, Mikhail, who's, of course, a prop. Brilliant kick from the number 11. He gets it over. It sails through. Georgia are winning this game 6-0. Who would have called that? Fantastic kick, by the way. Really brilliant kick. You will see few better like that. I mean, that's very, very much top-tier nation type kicking. And Fiji have to once again restart the game after conceding points. Georgia have yet to concede. It's a short restart though by Fiji, and they do manage to get possession of it. There's a very late tackle by Georgia there, and I think they might well come back to that. And Fiji player is definitely trying to act upon it. He's trying to act a little injured, which is really not the spirit of the game. Nonetheless, it now comes out to the wing, comes to the number 6 of Tagi Valu, and he's unfortunately lost the ball in the tackle. Though now it's an advantage to the knock-on, by Georgia. So he did lose it, but lost it in the tackle. So it's advantage, a knock-on advantage to Fiji, and they will have the scrum inside Georgia's half here. Just watching Tagi Valu come forward here, tries to pass the ball back, and that is when it is spilt there by Georgia forward. It is the number 19, the replacement lock, of course, Chiashvili. So unfortunate for Georgia. Once again, they're going to have to try and defend against the Fijian scrum. And as Diana says, it's a great start to this game. It is a fantastic start by Georgia in this game. So let's see if they can continue on as they've reached the halfway point in this first half. So currently, Fiji will be finishing on 7 points in this game, as they've got a bonus point for coming within 7. And Georgia are tying with Australia in points if the score should end like this. Of course, it won't. But just saying in terms of current points allocations, just shows how terribly Australia have started the World Cup, or rather have had a World Cup, because they're pretty much out. They're all but out. They can only hope Fiji somehow lose against Georgia and Portugal, which is unlikely to happen, as Fiji, of course, played against Wales, lost that game. They played against Australia, though, won that. Now they're playing against Georgia, and soon to play against Portugal next week. So here comes a big scrum from Fiji, but Georgia doing very well to uphold themselves, and they're actually getting a little bit of go forward, but Fiji do take the ball out. And it now comes to the back line as the number 14, he makes the break there, old Ravutaumada. And now comes Sukuruvoli, who's managing at the ruck on the 5-meter line here for Fiji against Georgia. Can Georgia hold them out? They've managed to do so. It's an advantage to Fiji for offsides. So here comes Kuruvoli, tries to find the right pass, but is unable to do so, and it's not rolling away as well now, penalised against Georgia. A couple of penalties coming to the way of Fiji, and they've still got go forward ball here. The advantage comes to the captain, tries to motor forward himself, unable to do so. Still on the 5-meter line is Fiji. The ball comes out a little bit wearingly. Now comes to Tagivalu, and now it's the number 4 of Nasi Lasila. There you go. And now comes to the number 10. He makes the dive, but he's unable to reach out. He's almost on it. And Georgia try to spill over, and it will be no advantage. They're legally allowed to do so, so they will come back for the penalty for Fiji on the 5-meter line on the other side. And Georgia still managing to keep Fiji out, but unable to convert right now. So, captain for Fiji, Wayasia Nayakalevu, has opted to go back to the penalty, and let's see what he's going to do. Derek here saying in the comments, Fiji to lose, Australia to qualify and go on to win this World Cup. I doubt it, because Fiji do need to lose 2 games. Of course, it's a very interesting tap and go by Fiji, and the ref does not allow it. He's not happy with what he's just seen. It was very, very interesting. It's the first time I've seen a proper set move here from a team in a 5-meter, and the ref did not like what he saw and said we're going to have to take that again. So Fiji, one of the first teams to actually have a proper set-piece move on the 5-meter line. So that's quite an interesting one. Let's see what they do this time. They're going to try and settle it up here. Matavesi or Fiji is trying to build it up here. And no, this time it's going to be an interesting one. But no, Georgia see it just as easily. And on the 5-meter line, the ball comes down. They pass to the... Oh, my word, it's a huge tackle there. My word, look at that. Matkava on Tagi. And it's lost forward as a result. What a tackle from Matkava. An insane tackle. And the ball's been taken and it's been lost forward. And Georgia managed to get the ball here. Fantastic play from Georgia so far this half. But I just want to note, the biggest player on the field is Luke Tagi of Fiji here. And look at Matkava, the number 10 for Georgia, makes a huge hit on him. And yeah, brilliant tackle there. Just really forces Tagi to the floor. And fantastic, absolutely fantastic from Georgia so far. Yeah. So, Derek just saying, what are the odds in terms of Australia managing to go through as a result of Fiji losing to Georgia and Portugal? I don't see it happening, but currently Fiji are really struggling against Georgia. Georgia doing very, very well to hold this Fijian side up, and they are pumped. They are really, really pumped. Fantastic to see. I mean, let me know, guys, in the comments, what are your thoughts about the game so far? I cannot believe the fact that we've seen... Georgia come out in the fashion that they have. I mean, 24 minutes in, Georgia winning 6-0. It's low scoring, but Georgia are certainly the ones that are playing better rugby. Fiji cannot get over their line. The Georgian defense is holding up, and they've really caused a lot of mistakes from Fiji. Yet another one here. Now the scrum starts. Can they hold it up, though? And they take the ball out very quickly. Well done, because otherwise that scrum was motoring forward for Fiji, and they still managed to retain the ball about 8 meters out from their try line. They pass the ball back to Matkava, who has to try and beat one. He does brilliantly to beat one. Puts the ball forward. It's not out, though. It's on the halfway line. And here comes Fiji motoring forward through their fullback, Droasese, and he's taken down just outside the 22-meter line. And Georgia still defending inside their own half. Kuruvoli finds his back line, and now the pass is made out wide to the captain. He's trying to beat the one player, tries to go through in the outside, but he's left the ball, and it's going to be a line out in favor of Georgia. And unfortunately for Naya Kalevu, he has lost the ball there, and Georgia once again getting the benefit and managing to force mistakes out of Fiji. Fantastic. Diala saying gritty hit, guts to glory is possible indeed. It's exactly that by Matkeva. You just have to make the right tackle, and he does exactly the right thing. Takes down the big prop. Fantastic hit from him. So the substitute for Georgia will be taking the line out, Nioradza. And they're looking to set up the front pod. And are they going to do it? No, it goes to the middle there. Very easy line. I'll tell you something. Georgia's set pieces, for that I thought Fiji would be better, have been exceptional. They really have been brilliant, Georgia, in the set piece so far. They've really been clean, 100% drilled. They know exactly what they're doing. And Fiji cannot seem to get anywhere near them. And the ball is kicked there straight from the more that they set up there from the line out. But it's not a very good kick at all by Lobjanidze. And it's not found much ground. It's gone out just past the 22-meter. So it will be a line out to Fiji inside Georgia's half still. Craig here saying Fiji to win by 18. Well, you're still backing Fiji, even though they're really struggling this game so far. Look at this. Dominant tackles. For that, Fiji had made a lot more tackles than Georgia in the first half of this game. Dominant tackles. 10 dominant tackles from Georgia versus Fiji's only one. Now, just to inform you, a dominant tackle is where you force the player backwards. So when an attacking player tries to come forward, and in the clash, you actually end up further back. So brilliant from Georgia. Just really exactly as it says, forcing Fiji back. Fiji now trying to come forward again. They're just about 10 meters away from the 22-meter line. Kuruvoli now managing, comes to his captain, Naya Kalevu, and he goes down. He's not managed to make much ground as he usually does in games, although Georgia's edging on offsides here. They just need to be careful here. Comes to the other center, it's Tuisova, and he's not able to make much ground. They're just almost on the 10-meter line here. Fiji getting forced back by Georgia once again. I mean, it's brilliant to see the Georgian defense acting as they are. Once again, making a big tackle on Luke Tagi, who's one of the biggest players in the field. And there's a big gap here for the number 6 Botia, and the ball is spilt a little bit from Fiji. Now it's broken play. What can Georgia do to try and capitalize? And it then goes down by Taylor, but luckily Fiji managed to get the ball back. But again, a loose pass to the back line here, and Georgia just watching basically as Fiji make their own errors. And it goes down again, and he's now trying to desperately go over the ball. The ball is unfortunately spilt forward, but they're still trying to come forward. Fiji now on the halfway line, all the way back here. They were inside the 22. Now on the halfway line. That's how far back for Georgia has pushed them. Knock-on advantage to Fiji after that attempt to get the ball. But the knock-on advantage is now over. And now they've got numbers if they can spread it, Fiji here. And unable to do so. Brilliant tackle once again from Georgia. Kveladze makes the tackle, the center. And they forced Fiji even further back into their own half. Look at this. A hell of a thing. Brilliant from Georgia so far. And the ball is now kicked forward. They've had to opt for the kick. It's a great kick, though, to be fair. And it's a great chase by Mata, who's forced the ball out. So for all that Fiji were getting pushed back, just one little instance of brilliant play from Fiji brings them straight back in. Kuruvoli puts a brilliant up and under box kick in. And Mata makes a brilliant chase, makes a tackle as he receives the ball. Georgia there forces it out, and it'll be a Fiji line out just outside the 22. Joseph here saying it's a great game, but I'm forced to watch it with the sound switched off because of the extremely poor commentators that ITV has selected. My God, what a pair of dorks. Well, I'm hoping that my commentary is a little bit better. I'm hoping you are listening to me, and if it is, please do let me know, and I'm hoping it is. And look at this, Fiji have spilt it once again in the line-out, and Georgia coming forward, and he has played rather well, has Lobjanidze, and he comes in, and it's a knock-on advantage in favor of Georgia right now, about 10 meters away from the 22. What on earth is happening with Fiji? They cannot seem to get their hands free, and they cannot seem to play the rugby that they want to. Very, very weird. Georgia saying Fiji knows it is the win when they basically feeling the pressure. Yeah, so it's exactly that. They are feeling the pressure maybe in this game because Georgia are still well ahead. 6 points, of course. And it's a brilliant kick there, and the number 14 for Georgia, old Tabudzadze, tries to get there, but it's a knocked on offsides, which means an accidental offside penalty in favor of Georgia. So Fiji, again, making more mistakes, and Georgia will surely have a shot. Indeed, they do call for the shot, and Niniashvili will have another crack. He had a brilliant kick earlier from about 55 meters out. This is also about maybe a little bit closer, 48 meters perhaps, right in front of the post, but is quite far out, and potentially could put Georgia up to 9 points ahead. My word, what a game we're having here. Absolutely brilliant. And the Georgian fans are loving it. Absolutely loving it. And who wouldn't? Georgia not the favourites at all. I mean, even in our poll, still sits Fiji very, very far ahead in our poll. 85% of the vote saying Fiji will win this game. But Georgia certainly putting question marks around that. Definitely say that it's Fiji feeling the pressure. As Diana says, unnecessary errors for Fiji. George, I can see your messages. Don't worry. Don't have to spam the comments there. And kick from Naniashvili goes straight through. And it is now 9 points to Georgia, Fiji 0. Nobody would have seen this coming. Certainly not me. Keep it here saying, I'm impressed with the commentary. Keep it up. Well done. Fiji will win. Thank you so much. Love getting comments like that. And I'm hoping you guys will all join me for tomorrow's game, the South African game. I will be commentating that game. It's my first South African game I've ever done. Very excited to do it. Of course, that's when we have a huge chat and a huge audience. And I'm very excited to see what happens there. Diana sending some sunglasses as well. Love to see it. Yeah, guys, keep the comments coming. I love it when some more comments are coming in. Ask me some questions. I'm very keen to answer, as you guys say. It's nice. It's interactive commentary. We talk about the game. We talk with each other about what's happening in the game. You guys who might not have access to TV get some information about what's happening in the game. Love to have you guys here all in the chat. So the ball has gone out after that restart. Georgia doing very well to get it right next to the halfway line. Mata goes up in the line out, catches it. Now it comes to the captain for Fiji. And once again, being forced back. These hits from Georgia are brilliant. On the halfway line here are Fiji, and they're trying to come forward, but they're just lost for ideas, I think it is. Georgia making some big tackles once again. On the halfway line, Fiji still find themselves. Now it comes to the captain again, Naya Kalabu, and he tries to make a little ground. This time managed to get over the halfway line. And now Fiji have got numbers if they can use it, but again, loose passes mean that they've lost a little bit of time. But now it comes to the winger here of Ravu Taumada, and he's managed to make a little bit of ground here for Fiji. He's come all the way up to the 22, but he's spilt it in the tackle, but it will be a line out in favor of Fiji, unfortunately, because it was touched by the Georgian just before it went out. So a line out to Fiji on the 22. Can they finally capitalize for points? Buffalo saying, go Georgia. Indeed, Joseph saying 9-0. Come on, Georgia. Indeed, let's go, Georgia. I mean, nobody would have expected this. The underdog really putting on a hell of a performance. Loved watching them so far. It's been absolutely brilliant. A gutsy performance is what I'd call it. Really, really gutsy. But Fiji have tried some really interesting little backline pieces of play, but it's knocked it on after that. So Georgia once again forcing mistakes out of Fiji. And I still ask the same question. What the hell is going on with Fiji? Because they're just knocking it on, spilling it, messing up these passes. They're really not flowing as they want to. And a terrible knock on there by the number 6 for Fiji. That's his Tagivalu is knocked it on there, and will be a scrum now to Georgia just outside, well, just inside their 22-meter line. Riri is saying so far only two teams have won after being down at half time. Indeed, only 2 teams have won from being down at half time in this World Cup so far. Will Fiji be the third? Because at this point, it looks like they're going to go into half time losing. How long can Georgia keep this up? That's the question I'll ask all of you. How long can they keep this up? Can they keep going until the second half? That's the great question, of course, because I do fear that they're going to be a little bit tired come the second half, and I think Fiji will then utilize their energy, and they'll probably come up a little bit more then as well. Also, notably, Georgia have had 2 big injuries in their forwards already, so I think the forwards will be quite tired in the second half. Zantaradza, the number 2, and Jayani, the number 4, have both gone off with relatively serious injuries. That means that they won't play for the remainder of this World Cup. Neoradza came on in place of the hooker position, and of course Chiashvili came on in the lock position for Georgia. Diana saying maybe it was the French maid with room service. Well, you know, it might well be, you know, some sick players in Fiji, perhaps. Maybe something wasn't quite right in their food, but something's certainly not right for them. But Georgia do very well to get the ball out of the scrums yet again. Again, their set pieces have been fantastic to watch because they've just been very clean. No mistakes. They know exactly what they want to do. They managed to do it brilliantly. So the ball is taken up by Lobjanidze, the scrum half. He's kicked it out, but again, it's not a brilliant kick. He's complaining, I don't know, at the ref or at the players otherwise, and it's gone out just past his 10-meter line. So Fiji once again can have an opportunity to attack Georgia's line from within their half. Chesman here, where is the normal guy of the show? Well, I can tell you where the normal guy is. The normal guy is making his way to the stadium tonight for another fixture. And look at the mistakes coming from Fiji. A miscued throw. It's sideways and not straight in the line out, which means it'll be a scrum or / free kick. Scrum, to Georgia. So, yeah, that's exactly what happens. Cheslin, as I say, the normal guy, that being Stevie P, is doing a couple of matches tomorrow, I believe, or maybe he's not doing tomorrow, but he will be doing other content for all of you guys. I'm on this show today, and we'll be doing the Springbok game tomorrow as well. I'm very keen for that. I'm hoping that, Cheslin, you enjoy the commentary, and be sure to ask me some questions as well. As I've seen a lot more comments coming in, guys. Let's keep them going. It would be really, really nice, and let's get some good discussions going, as we've got just under 6 minutes left of this first half. Georgia really doing very, very well, and Fiji just cannot seem to get a foothold in this game. Georgia, fantastic scrum from them once again, holding up Fiji very well. The grubber kick comes from Georgia. It's quite a good one, actually. It's forcing Drasese of Fiji quite far backwards into his 22. It's not a brilliant kick, and they do gain the advantage there. It's going to go out just on his 10-meter line, basically, inside his own half. So Georgia will have a line out inside Fiji's half, doing exceptionally well so far to force Fiji back. And just the Georgian fans are loving it. I'm loving it. I think half the comment sections are loving it. And Georgian players must be loving it as well. But how long can they keep it going? The substitute now, Nia Radza, puts the ball in his hand, waits for his team so he can get the line out going. It looks to be a 5-man line out for Georgia. Indeed, a 5-man line out is called. Ball goes in, taken straight away. And as now comes to the back line here for Georgia. And can they spot the gap? Unable to do so. Brought down on the 10-meter line here. Fiji unable to get over that ball, though. So Lobjanidze is fielding it. I feel Fiji were a little bit offsides. Maybe their ref says it's fine, but I think they're going to have to be careful of that again. Now Lobjanidze looking for Matkava, who's going to kick straight up into the air. There's going to be a chase from those two backline players, the fullback and the winger. They're going to get there, but unable to do so. The brilliant take by Radraja of Fiji. He goes down just past his 10-meter line, forces the ball backwards, and now tries to get the ball out to Mata out in the wing. And now he finds his big prop, Luke Tuggy, who tries to go forward again, but loses the ball once again in contact. He's done that a few times today. And a brilliant kick there by Lobjanidze, who stole it in behind Fiji. And it's almost all the way out to the try line, but just stops right before it. So the captain, Naya Kalevu, for Fiji, picks it up, kicks it from his 5-meter line, tries to get it out, and it's not out. It's picked up brilliantly by Niniashvili of Georgia. Now, what can he do? He tries to spot a gap, unable to do so, but now he finds his outside centre, who's going to go around the outside, tries to pass the ball backwards to Matkava, who does manage to receive the ball. Now it comes to the number 15 for Georgia, Modabatsa, who manages to break through into Fiji's 22-meter line. What can Georgia do here? They're really close to scoring a try. Now it comes to Niniashvili again, but this time seen very, very easily by Fiji. And Georgia attacking at the line. Here comes the drop goal attempt. Will it go through the centre? No, it doesn't. It misses. Unfortunate. Don't know why they did that. They should have tried to go. They should have tried to go for the try. I don't know why they were immediately going for the drop goal. I mean, a bit of a weird one, personally. So let's go back here to the comments that we've had. Cheslin saying, is Fiji playing a weaker side? No, it's a lot of their stars. All of their big names are there pretty much in the team. So it's just Georgia doing fantastically. Really saying, go Georgia, do it for the Wallabies. I'm not so sure about that. Don't do it for the Wallabies, just do it. And Diana is saying, I think the coach makes a huge difference. Rassie Erasmus is excellent. Well, I don't think Rassie Erasmus is the coach for Georgia, but nonetheless, Georgia doing exceptionally well here. Matkava now receives the ball from his scrum half, kicks it forward again. We've seen this quite a few times in Georgia, just trying to pin Fiji back. Tackle is made by Tabudatsa of Georgia, and now Fiji try to pick and go, but it's dropped, knocked it on. Oh, it says backwards, says the ref. I'm not so sure about that, but nonetheless, it's picked up by Currie Devetse, but they've lost it now. Georgia come forward with the ball again, and here they've got Lammers on the, oh my word, a misplaced pass. They've done a Fiji, and they've done their first real big mistake there. They had a little bit of space out wide, tried to pass it, but passed straight to the floor, and a rather terrible end to that piece of play there. Scrappy from both teams in that little piece of play. But otherwise, Georgia forced so many mistakes from Fiji. And Fiji will have to have a big talking to at halftime, because we are very, very close to halftime. And yeah, Fiji are nowhere, if I'm frank. They're nowhere. They cannot get past Georgia's defense. So, line up to Fiji now on the 10-meter line in their own half. It goes up, easily taken by Mata. Comes out now. And it eventually finds its way to the centres. Now comes to the captain, Naya Kalevu, who tries to find his outside centre. There we go. Now Fiji are coming through. They're trying to find his way through, but a fantastic tackle made by Niniashvili. I cannot tell you how brilliant that tackle is. And now the ball's coming forward, and they've knocked it forward at Fiji. And now Georgia trying to run it behind. There's space here. It's the foot race. There's only one player back for Fiji. Two players coming from Georgia. He spilled the ball as well. Now here comes Niniashvili, who tries to find his locks. He's almost there on the 5-meter line. Here comes Georgia out wide. Yeah, it's going to be a try to Georgia. What a brilliant piece of play. Georgia scored the first try of the game. Miriani Mababetse scores the try. Apparently, though, it's knocked on. Oh, no. Oh, no, TMO saying there's a knock on. Oh, no, we thought it was a try. We thought it was a try. Are they going to check it, perhaps? Oh, no. That's so disappointing. I thought they'd scored. I think a knock on right near the try line there. And everybody, look at this pump. Just need water right now after this piece of play. Brilliant, brilliant passage of play here. I mean, my word. Niniashvili, though, with a brilliant tackle. He's had a fantastic game. Got 2 brilliant kicks over. Made some brilliant chases, tackles, and otherwise found some great ground. He was the one that made the challenge there. Managed to get Georgia back in as well. And I don't know where Georgia knocked it on. Unless they're saying it's a forward pass. Oh, no. There's no ways it's a forward pass. Ref! Oh, my word. Talk about killing a great try. Oh, my word, that is so disappointing. Look at the Georgian bench. They were so happy, and so was the crowd, and then they were so disappointed, just like I was. I thought they'd scored a brilliant try, but it's going to be a scrum to Fiji for apparently a forward pass, even though the TMO has been shown. The crowd don't like it. They're booing left, right, and centre. They do not like what they've just seen. Going back to the comments here, just Diana saying, it's just a general observation. So, no, that's all good. Chesney saying, do you think there should be 2 versions of the World Cup? Strong counties and the others that are not that strong. No, I love seeing this, the smaller nations. I just want to see the smaller nations get more opportunities to play against each other and upgrade their rugby, essentially. That's what needs to happen. They don't play enough test matches, the smaller nations, to get the sort of experience they need. Where is the TMO? Indeed, Diala, where is the TMO? Why are they not saying that that's not a forward pass? It was a brilliant try. It should have been a try. And Georgia hearts are broken. But nonetheless, they still lead 9 points to 0. But it could have been a potential 16 points to 0 at halftime. As we are just 15 seconds away, the scrum has to be reset just outside the 5-meter line here. It is in favour of Fiji, of course, the scrum. But Georgia's scrum has been very good today. It's been holding up Fiji's forwards quite well. And it's now on the 40-minute mark. What do Fiji do? They try to run it out of their own half? Or do they kick the ball out and say, you know what, we'll regroup, we'll regather, and we'll have a go in the second half? That's going to be the great question here. Ball goes in from Kuruvoli. It's not moving the scrum. It's going down on the near side here, and the ball is taken out by Mato eventually, and he's trying to run forward from within the 22. Georgia make the tackle, and what do Fiji do here? No, they're just going to kick the ball out, and that's going to be half-time, ladies and gentlemen. What a half for Georgia. Incredible scenes here. Georgia lead 9 points to 0. They should have scored a try right at the end there. I fear that they were just let down by the ref ever so slightly. I think it wasn't actually forward, but nonetheless, Georgia are winning still 9 points to 0. Fiji, what on earth's gone wrong? Let me know in the comments. Keep it going in the comments. Be sure to let me know in the comments what's happening. And I am going to just take a very, very short break in a little bit while, just so that I can go and get a bit of water, recoup for the second half, which is going to be excellent. Be sure to keep going in the comments and give us your thoughts about what happened in that first half. How were Fiji? How were Georgia? And yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens in the second half. I do fear, though, that we're going to see a much improved Fiji, and it'll be much quicker passes around the side. Anyway, I'm going to see you in the second half. Don't go anywhere. Fiji versus Georgia. Georgia lead at halftime. I'll be back in the second half here on Forever Rugby. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in about 10 minutes. Hello everybody, Stevie P here from Forever Sports, and I'm here to tell you about BOYLESPORTS, the official betting partner of Forever Sports. Across all of our channels, they are one of the leading betting companies in the world and have recently launched in South Africa with an amazing offering. You can get a 1,000 Rand welcome offer. For the rugby, they are giving you 25% payout boost up to 2,000 Rand on the Springboks winning the World Cup, as well as an extra 50 Rand bet when you stake 250 more on rugby during the Rugby World Cup. It is your one-stop betting shop. That is BOYLESPORTS. Come and join us in the community. Check the links in the description to sign up, get yourself an account, and make sure that you are winning big with BOYLESPORTS. Hello and welcome to Forever Sports. My name is Reese. I'll be talking to you a little bit today about one of our channel partners, BITDEFENDER. BITDEFENDER is a global leader in cyber security. BITDEFENDER is committed to defending people all around the globe against cyber attacks, as well as to transform people's digital experiences. In the next 6 months, Forever Sports will be covering major tournaments such as the Rugby Championship, the Premier League, the remainder of the Formula 1 season, as well as embarking on the biggest Rugby World Cup YouTube campaign ever. To ensure that these are all a success, it is imperative that the Forever Sports channels and platforms remain uncompromised. And with BITDEFENDER, we can be assured that our cybersecurity needs are being taken care of. To read more on BITDEFENDER, please be sure to check the links in the description of our video. Once again, thank you very much to our partner, BITDEFENDER, for joining the channel. I've been... Hello everybody and welcome back to Forever Rugby here on Forever Sports. I am back, we are back live, and of course it's still half time. We've got a little bit more time before the teams make their way out onto the field. Currently Georgia lead 9 points to Fiji's 0. What went wrong in that first half for Fiji? Why on earth is it the current scoreline? Have Georgia just been unbelievable or Fiji just been absolutely terrible? I've looked at a couple of chats between the team as well for Forever Sports, and a lot of people feel like Fiji are just playing like absolute rubbish. So let me know in the comments, what do you think is going wrong for Fiji? Is it just them, or is it Georgia that's being the problem? Looking at a couple of the comments here, Derek saying Fiji look rattled. The first 10 minutes of the second half are going to be crucial. 100% agree. Go Georgia, keep it up the second half, says Marius. Fusion Bro saying, just letting us know about something there. And Riri here saying, I use BITDEFENDER, but I can't stream on France's M6, which hosts all small games like this one. That's very irritating. Or if you go and find another way, you can go and maybe utilize a different country to try and get into it. So yes, nonetheless, guys, welcome back to the stream. Very happy to have you all here. Be sure to let me know some comments about where you're watching from. Very, very intrigued always. I am always interested to know. Still waiting a little bit for the second half to get going. So there we go. We've now got players coming out. Fiji are out already. They seem a little bit having a big team discussion in the middle of the field. They're just trying to get it all together. And Georgia also making their way slowly out onto the field. So, there we go. Both teams now making their way out onto the field. And I'm sure we're going to see a fight back from Fiji. But I'd still like to see how Georgia can fare in the second half. Maybe we'll see some some more tries or more points at least from Georgia's side, maybe they'll go and do something to really put an edge to this game. And maybe Australia might be thinking, oh, if Portugal can also do us a favour. Unfortunately, it's Portugal that has to do the favour. But Portugal and Georgia drew 18 all, I suppose. So if Georgia can beat Fiji, nothing says that Portugal can't beat Fiji as well. But Fiji needs to do lots in the second half to get going. Georgia did very well to win that first half. Can they do it in the second half as well? Let's get ready to find out as Teti Tella has the ball in his hands for Fiji, about to get the second half underway. And this is the match date, was the match 29 of this Rugby World Cup. The ref blows his whistle. The ball is kicked into the air. And we have the game started. So Georgia received the ball just outside the 22. No, they don't, as it's actually hit back by the captain. Brilliant start for Fiji. And Naya Kalavu taps the ball back for his team. They're already inside the 22. And there's another big injury to Georgia down and back play. Potentially another, oh my word, just knock-ons galore here. And knock-on from Fiji first, just in front of the 10-meter line in Georgia's half. And there's an injury down and back play. Another forward for Georgia here. It's Gacha Chilidze. Who's down. He seems to have also popped the shoulder. Another one today. So really, really not good for Fiji, and also not good for Georgia with 3 injuries now before they've even reached 50 minutes. Also Fiji, another handling error, and they started the second half just at the start of the first half with handling errors and just poor mistakes, really. Just seeing Nicolas saying Georgia will win this match for sure, and Jobilisi saying Fiji fullback in the clear should have used his arms to fend the tackle instead of jumping. Well, that's certainly one way to look at it, and I think you might well be right. Look at the tackles made. Georgia made 99 tackles versus Fiji's 61, but yet your Georgia are very much firmly ahead in this game. So the first scrum of the second half, Fiji have a big feed, but Georgia take it out straight away. Comes the number 8. Oh my word, and it's a misplaced pass. It would have otherwise making a penalty here against Georgia for an axe. No, it's a penalty against Fiji. And straight away a yellow card. I don't quite know what's happened there. A yellow card has been given to Radradra, of Fiji. I don't know what happened. Suddenly got a yellow card out of absolutely nowhere. I don't know why that's a yellow card. I'm very confused to what's happened here. Very, very odd one. I'm really trying to bring it to you. Is it trying to say it's a high tackle? It's not even that high. Or maybe saying a deliberate knock-on. Oh, it is indeed a deliberate knock-on. That's what it was. Sorry. Very, very confused there. So, Fiji, after having a terrible first half, has started the second half just as poorly, and it's got a yellow card already. Now Georgia are just outside their 22 with a line out now after that penalty for deliberate knock-on. And Fiji win the line out. So Georgia's been brilliant so far in the set piece, but now they've lost it the first time. And here come Fiji on the attack, already inside Georgia's half, and they're just taken down there. And it's now controlled from the back here. And almost a very loose pass there by Tella, who took it out of the ruck, but managed to get it to Luke Tuggy. Now it comes down on the halfway line here. Kuruboli is assessing the situation ahead of him, comes to his props in midfield, and once again Georgia making some good tackles to try and force them backwards. Kuruboli now managing once again, and is knocked on by Fiji, and it comes back to Georgia, and it's a big kick in behind. It's going to be a fantastic kick, I think, there by Lobjanidze, and it's almost knocked on by Fiji, but not quite, and the chase, it was good, but then missed the tackle, but now making the tackle just, are we saying it's knocked on? Oh, we are saying it was knocked on. So it's knocked on by Fiji on the 5-meter line, so it's going to be a Georgian scrum right on the Fiji try line. This could be a try to Georgia. This could be insane for everybody in the World Cup. Who knew this could happen? Georgia, here we go. Georgia are coming. So let's have the scrum now for Georgia. Can they score over the line here? Let me know in the comments quickly before they do. get the scrum underway. Fiji with a yellow card, of course, which means the space out wide. Georgia have taken it out of the scrums very well straight away as they have made a substitution now. The number 70, Nika Abuladze, comes on in place of the number 1, Nariashvili. The captain has made his way off the field. He's had a great game out there and is being replaced in the 43rd minute. So already they've had quite a lot of substitutions for Georgia, but now they've got a scrum coming up here. And can they score the try with a man down and back play for Fiji? Radraja, of course, is off with a yellow card. So the space out wide. Georgia taken out of the scrums very, very quickly each time they've had one. And let's see if the same thing happens again. The ball is there available. Although they've got a fantastic scrum, they've got a brilliant scrum penalty. Now it comes to Lobjanidze, who tries to find it through, but not able to. So it's going to come back for the penalty in the scrum. Georgia, scrum out of nowhere. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Obviously, Nika Abuladze came on and did the job and won the scrum penalty for them. It's brilliant. I mean, I cannot believe how Georgia are playing this game. Don't get me wrong, Fiji have made so many mistakes, but Georgia forced it. Georgia very much forced. Riri says, try time, Georgia. Indeed. So let's see if Georgia will score that try. And we're going to have another scrum here. Of course, they've called for another scrum. So they've not even opted for points. They've not opted for the maul to go over. They've opted for another scrum. They backed the scrum out of nowhere. Crouch has been called. Let's see the bind. Then they're set. Now, will we see another very strong Georgian scrum? Looks to be a good set by Georgia. And the ball has gone in. And it's gone down on Fiji's side. And the ball is apparently available, says the ref. They're not going to give advantage. It comes to the wing. Now they've got space out wide. Will they be able to get out to him in time? Niniashvili comes in, tries to dart back inside. Is trying to dance his way over the try line, but goes down just on the 5-meter line. And the ball is being held. It's a penalty against Fiji. It's tapped and gone very quickly by Lobjanidze. He goes down literally on the try line. Can Georgia get over for a try here against Fiji? They tried to sneak it through, but it's been knocked backwards there from Fiji. They're going to come back for the penalty on the 5-meter line. Now, Fiji have got to be very, very careful here because, of course, another penalty on the try line could result in a second yellow card. Lobjanidze tried the tap and go, was unable to get over there. And an advantage, of course, for being offsides, I think, was given. Georgia here very, very close to converting a try in this game. Niniashvili there tried desperately to get over, tried to dance his way through, but was unable to do so. A high tackle was what the original penalty was for. Then as the penalty was taken, then was offside. So consecutive penalties here on the 5-meter line against Fiji. They've got to be very careful. As another scrum is called by Georgia on the 5-meter line, this time on the near touch line. Will we see Georgia score a try? 46 minutes gone. There's still just under 5 minutes left on that yellow card to Radraja for Fiji, of course, the wingers. The space out wide for Georgia to utilize. The scrum is going. It's a big hit by Fiji, though. They need to get this ball out to Georgia. The ball does come out, and luckily, Lobjanidze gets the ball, but it's gone out just as quickly, and it's going to be a line out to Fiji. So Georgia have stuffed up on the line, and Fiji have managed to get back there, and they're just getting in the faces of the Georgians a little bit, just trying to get under their skin a little bit as well. Does Luke Tuggy, just goes and shouts in one of the players' faces. So yeah, a little bit of afters there. But Fiji now with the line out on their line. It goes up, comes down. It's not as clean as they might well have wanted. And now dart quickly here, and it's advantage to Fiji and a penalty to Fiji for trying to for infringing the player in the air. That's what it was, infringing the player in the air. So Fiji get away with it. Georgia will not score the try. So yeah, I mean, what a start to the second half we've had. A yellow card, Georgia almost scoring a try, unable to get over the line there, but Fiji do get away with it now. It's gone out on the near touch line here, just past the 22. Yaku Paper holding up his flag. Fiji, of course, after that penalty, will have the feed to this line out. And can they do anything with, of course, one less player on the pitch? Petrus here saying, this is great commentary. Thank you so much for your comments. I do very much appreciate it. And if anybody else was watching, be sure to ask me some questions. Let me know your thoughts about this game and the World Cup in general, and otherwise just general stuff completely. And Fiji once again lose it in the line-out, and Georgia come away with the ball after a knock-on by Fiji in the line-out. So Georgia are trying to get this ball down. Eventually it's a tackle, and the ball comes available for Lobjanidze of Georgia. He wants to get this ball out wide as quickly as possible because, of course, they've got numbers Just 14 men Fiji have, and it's not rolling away there very well by Fiji as well. So a terrible, terrible game being played by Fiji, if I'm quite frank. So what can Georgia do? They've got a man advantage, and there, the dart there by Saginadze doesn't quite work. And then a knock-on as well by Georgia, and they're going to come back for that knock-on, of course, by Georgia first, and it will be a Fijian scrum. Ah, dear. Shocking, shocking, shocking. So very, very unfortunate for Georgia. They should have done something there. Chesney, they're saying, how did the yellow happen? Was a deliberate knock-on by Radradra there. Georgia would have been away from the halfway line, stopped him from getting away with a deliberate knock-on, and as a result got a yellow card for that cynical piece of play. He's only got 2 minutes and 37 seconds left on his yellow card though, so not too much longer, and Georgia haven't actually capitalized, which is very unfortunate. I was really hoping they would, but unable to do so as of yet. So another scrum here in the middle of the field. Fiji, of course, getting the feed to it. Will this be a better scrum for them? The previous scrum wasn't too bad, and I'm sure that they'll be fighting very hard to get some more points in this game. So this Pool C clash is turning out to be a very, very interesting one, with Fiji dubbed to be the favourites to go through, of course, over Australia, and otherwise pretty much guaranteed to be going through to the quarterfinals for the second time in their history. But Georgia suddenly putting question marks over that. The scrum is a big hit by Georgia. They're getting an advantage. They're going to have to take this ball out. The ball eventually comes out, but it's very much spilt almost. And now it's been chipped forward by Ramut Hamada, and he's chipped it again, but this time it's gone out just past the 22-meter line in Georgia's half there. Brilliant play from him, though. Managed to get his team a lot of territory there. Did Ravu Tawumada. And, yeah, Georgia now going to have to try and get out of their 22-meter line, essentially. I'd almost said that was cynical play by the Georgian there. Pretty much just trips Ravu Tawumada. But Georgia will still take this line out, so apparently not. And, yeah, let's see what they can do here. Cheslin's saying, it does feel, though, this World Cup has been so many yellow cards. It has been. And Fiji have stolen the line out. And here they come at Georgia inside their 22. Could Fiji score a try to finally get themselves back into this game? They've got a lot of numbers. They're trying to spread out wide. They've got numbers out wide. It comes to the captain. He tries to dive himself, but unable to do so. Goes down on the 5-meter line. So, now being managed here. It comes to Luke Tagi here. No, not actually. The substitute for it's Ravai rather of Fiji here, who's come on in the number 17 shirt. Number 21 is also on Lamani for Fiji. Now it comes to Luke Tagi, still on the field and is being utilized as a big heavy ball carrier. Offsides by Georgia there, I think. It comes out wide to the captain, who's going to try and go over. I think he's managed to. Indeed, it is a try to Fiji. Finally, in the corner, the captain, Naya Kalevu, has scored in the corner. They're going to TMO check it just to see if he stepped out. But otherwise, it will be a try to Fiji, and even with a yellow card behind the name. So they managed to score with the yellow card. And Georgia will be wondering what on earth happened. They were on their try line, and now Fiji have scored with only 14 men in the field. Just to clarify Cheslin's comment there, it says, if Fiji lose, are they out? No, they are not. They've still got another game against Portugal next week. So it's very unlikely that they should go home after the pool stages here. If they lose to Georgia without a bonus point, and they lose to Portugal without a bonus point, then Australia can go through ahead of Fiji. Actually, I'm not even sure if they can. Let me go look here. Yeah, indeed they can. Because if Australia win their last game, and Fiji only win one of their games with 4 points, but they got no bonus points otherwise between these two, then Fiji will go home. So if they do not get a bonus point in this game and Georgia win, then Australia might be hoping they can get through, and it comes down to whether or not Fiji can beat Portugal with a bonus point or not. So the kick coming here from the substitute number 21, who is, of course, Lamani, and it goes through the middle. So it is going to be 7 points to Georgia's 9. So great kick there from the corner, and suddenly a very, very close game once again. So let me know, guys, in the comments, do you think Fiji will come back to win this game? Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to ask you in the comments. I'm going to ask you as a poll. Let me put that poll up very, very quickly for all of you to go and participate in. As the restart is taken, Fiji do grab it outside the 22-meter line, but Georgia there very quickly to also stop them from getting any sort of advantage from it. I'm going to start a poll as to will Fiji go on to win this game as the ball is put in up high. And it's a brilliant chase. And it's unfortunately missed though. And it's knocked on there by Fiji last minute. But it will be a scrum to Fiji as it was knocked on by Georgia first on more or less just in front of their 10-meter line. So Georgia going through a rather poor period in this game. And there you go, guys. Go and participate in that poll that we now have running. Will Fiji go on to win this game? Now that they scored that try. And that yellow card, let me just take it off my screen as well, is also gone. So there are no yellow cards to Fiji at the moment. No yellow cards in general, of course. So let me know in that new poll, will Fiji go on to win this game? As the scrum is now going to be reset. Wasn't the best one in this 53rd minute. So yeah, looking at the standings right now between the teams, we're seeing the fact that Wales have got 14 points after playing 3 games. Fiji at the moment have got a bonus point for within 7 of Georgia, so after playing 3 with 7, of course, if they were to win this game, they'll move to 10 points, depending on whether they can get a bonus point. So that's the current standings, but if they should lose this game without a bonus point, Australia might back themselves to try and do something, because if Fiji lose next week's against, if they win against Georgia, but without, against Portugal rather, without a bonus point, then Australia could go through. So that's the story point, and that's the talking point rather. But Fiji have now got their tails up. Their substitutes are really making quite a difference as Lamani takes the ball out. Of course, the substitute scrum out, but it's stolen in the tackle, but a high tackle apparently, says the ref, in the middle of the field there. So it will be a penalty against Georgia and against the number 7, Becca Saginadze of Georgia, of course. So it'll be a penalty. What will Fiji do? They've opted for points. They're going to move themselves into the lead if it goes through the middle. That is what they're going to do. Let's see if it will work in their favor. Toromon saying, go Fiji, go. And Craig here saying, I still say Fiji by 18, my SUPERBRU score. Well, at this point, Fiji's tails are up. They could very well go on to win this game by similar sort of points to that. So they're going to line it up here. Of course, the substitute, I believe, Lamani will be taking the kick. Let me just confirm that for you guys. I believe it is anyway. Looks to be right. It is. Number 21, Lamani, of course, kicked that brilliant kick from the corner there to convert their try. Is now kicking from more or less the center of the field on the 10-meter line, or just in front of it. And he's got a very extravagant way of kicking. And let's see if it'll go sail through the middle. Petrus here saying Fiji uncharacteristically not backing themselves there. Indeed, it's been very, very weird to watch Fiji play the way it's only got 2 seconds to kick this ball, and he uses up all the time brilliantly, and it sails sideways. He misses it, so he uses up all the time only to miss. So Georgia are still in the lead. So Lamani misses the kick, and it remains 9 points to 7. Very, very disappointing for Fiji and Lamani, of course. He used up all his time. Maybe he got rushed a little bit because he finally saw the time. It came off the post, just by the way, on the outside post. But he did miss it. So, yeah, really, really surprising. Georgia now, of course, can hit it as far into their half as possible as Matkava does kick it almost on the 10-meter line. A little bit of footwork from Fiji there, from Joa Sese. And now fielded again by, I think, Matkava. Indeed, it is Matkava who now kicks it forward into Fiji's 22. It's fielded by his opposite fly half, Tella, who now finds the substitute Lamani, who tries to kick it forward, and it's going to go out more or less on the halfway line, I think it is. Quite an important player Lamani is, of course, to Fiji, so it's gone out actually, yeah, on the halfway line pretty much, so it will be a Georgian line-out. Can they score some more points? Can they get back into Fiji's half? They've not had a fantastic second half so far. Not quite like the first half. The second half just being a little bit more tired. They made some very early substitutions in this game, but this line-out has worked very well, but it's a little bit spilt by Lobjanidze at the back there, but he's managed to get control of the ball. He's now trying to get this ball out as well, and eventually Support comes from Matkava, who gets the ball out to his forwards, and they're going to set up another. He's actually made a lot of ground there, made up about 3 meters there. Great little push there. Matkava once again fielding passes to his winger, Naniashvili, who kicks it forward. It's an up and under, but there's not going to be a good enough chase from Georgia. And now it comes to the big number 11 of Fiji, and not deemed to be a high tackle there on Radradra, who of course had the yellow card earlier. Now Fiji, Lamani comes with the ball. He kicks it forward, also a bit of a box kick. And Matkava is underneath this one. Or is it? Yeah, there's Matkava who's underneath this. He finds Niniashvili, who's going to kick it forward as well, right deep into Fiji's half. What a kick, a bounce, and it's just kept in by Fiji there at the back. And it looks like Fiji's captain's pulled his hamstring. We're going to see what happens there, but he's not happy about it at all right now, as the ball stays in here from Fiji's kick, only just, and eventually fielded by the fullback Mobabetse of Georgia, and he kicks the ball towards Lamani. Sorry, it's actually the winger, Radradra, who's got a little bit of an injury there. He's not happy, and the ball eventually does go out from Fiji, and it's going to go out more or less on the 10-meter line inside Georgia's half. So a bit of kicking back and forth between them as we see some more substitutes coming on here for Georgia, but really not happy is Radradra. I think he's actually got a little bit of cramp, is what it looks like. So very, very interesting there. Almost up to 200 viewers, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And otherwise, my name is Mark, and I'm going to be doing the Springbok game tomorrow. I'm very, very keen for that. And I'm very, very keen to have some of you guys in the comments for that game as well. Fusion Bros here saying, having 3 Fiji players in my fantasy team this week, was expecting better from them. Indeed, lots of people have been predicting Fiji to really run away with it, but we're almost at 60 minutes, and Georgia are still winning this game 9 points to 7. And the scrum is, the line-out's taken by Georgia. They tried to save the ball, but it's been stopped just as quickly by Fiji. And in fact, this ball's not coming out. I think it's going to come out on Fiji's side. Indeed, it does come out on Fiji's side. It will be a Fijian scrum. So Georgia really stuffing up there. Yeah, so we're going to see another scrum coming up here. And let me know in the comments, guys. Do you think Fiji will actually come back into this game, or do you think Georgia are throwing it away at this point? As we see some more subs for Fiji coming onto the field. It's Ikanibere and Tawake, I think, is also making his way on in the number 18 shirt, I believe. Or was it actually, indeed, I think it's actually Tuisu who's going to come on. RPG saying, I don't miss Forever Sport. What do you mean I don't miss a Forever Sport? You hopefully don't miss a watch-along. I'm hoping you mean that. In which case, I'm very glad to hear that. And glad to see you here. And also the rest of you guys here. Guys, we're so close to 50 likes. We've got 45 odd. Please just go and hit that like button right now. Let's get us over 50. It really does just put a little smile on my face. We really, really much appreciate it. We're hitting on the 60th minute now. The scrum is underway. It's going to stay up only just, but Fiji and Georgia really fighting out in the scrum. It's great to see. Now, here comes Fiji. They're going to try through the back line, but once again, it's spilt. And can Georgia get through? I think they've managed to get the ball. It's knocked on by Fiji, and it will come back for Georgia. So it's knocked on by Fiji. So it'll be a Georgia scrum, literally in the middle of the field on the halfway line. So fantastic pressure there from Georgia. And yet again, more mistakes from Fiji. Just more mistakes. So many mistakes from Fiji. Really, really is surprising. As we do hit the 60-minute marker. But Fiji are the only ones to have scored a try so far in this game. As we do see Beaumont, chairman of IRB, in the crowd there. Not usually a favourite of many, many people. But yes. Fusion just asking again, have you seen what the yellow card was for? Again, it was for a deliberate knock-on, is what it was supposedly. That was what that yellow card was for. He is back on the field, of course. So, in fact, they scored Fiji whilst he was off. So maybe they want him off again. Yeah, as we have crossed now 200 viewers. Thank you so much for joining me here, guys. Really is very much appreciated. Go and check the description of the channel as well to go and see some of our partners, BOYLESPORTS and BITDEFENDER. They really are very much appreciated as well on the channel for supporting us and allowing us to bring you this content. As we have now what seems to be like a bit of a water break here on the 60-minute marker here. So we're just having to wait for some stuff to happen here before we'll get going with that scrum again. So, we're still watching some replays here of Fiji's try, scored by the captain Naya Kalevu, of course, in the corner. Did very well to stay in. Just managed to stay and put the ball in before he went out, of course. And he's been quite good today, but he's not managed to make many line breaks as he usually does. So you'll be disappointed about that as we see Ivanishvili comes on, number 20 shirt for Gacha Chiladze, who's coming off the field now. He's had a big game. He's had a hell of a game, has the Georgian forward. And Georgia made quite a few substitutions now, so not too many more tricks up their sleeve for the rest of this game. But can they hold on to this victory? Can they get a couple of more points? That's going to be the big question. There's also Lobjanidze, I think, has also made his way off the field. Now the 21, Gele Aprasidze, has made his way on in his place. And Georgia's names, I'll tell you, are a hell of a thing. As Georgia now going to lose the scrum, penalty to Fiji, a huge scrum from Fiji on the halfway line. Now what do Fiji do here? Do they go for the line? Do they go for post? They missed last time they went for post from a similar position. Looks like they're going to be going for the line, or they're going to go for posts. I think they're going to have another shot. No, they're going to go for the line. So they're going to try and score a try here off Fiji. As Jerome Olivier says in the comments, Georgia giving Fiji a hard time, but hopefully Fiji pulls through. So the kick is taken by Lamani. And it's gone out. More or less close to the 22-meter line in Georgia's half. Huge scrum from Fiji. Massive scrum. Here we go. A line out on the 22-meter line for Fiji. Lots of substitutes up for them. It goes to the front part. Now comes to Lamani, who finds his winger, I went to say, Ravu Taumada, who's gone down. He unfortunately took a little bit of a trip as he went into that. And now Fiji break into the 22-meter line for a fantastic carry there. And Lamani trying to get his troops forward and over that 22-meter line and over the try line, hopefully. Tries to speed up play. Passes through to some more forwards over here. The substitute here, I think it's I'll get there eventually. Maya Navanua. And now it comes to the winger, Ravu Taumada, who gets taken down on the 22-meter line still. Fiji unable to get past this 22-meter line, basically. Just trying to crash ball their way forward, but not making too much ground at this point in time. Now, Fiji are trying to get over this ball, but doing very, very poorly at the attempt. Now, can Fiji get this ball spread very, very quickly? Unable to do so. Once again, it's Luke Tagi, who's one of the biggest players in this World Cup, gets taken down on the 22. And still now they're even behind the 22 of Fiji now. Struggling. Comes to Luke Tagi. Brilliant take from on the floor. Basically has to crawl to get that ball. And really trying to speed it up. And here's the bit of a break here for the substitute prop, Rabai, who managed to get through. I think it was. No, in fact, it was Ikanivere. But it was taken down eventually. But he did spot a gap. Fiji just slowing it down now. They're just trying to build it up. Comes the number 20, Maya Navanua. Tuisu. And now comes to the back line. Can they spread it quick enough? Can Fiji get it through? The number 12 gets his hands free. Now comes out to the substitute. And he's trying to break his way through. He's made a lot of ground, 10 meters away from the try line. Lamani almost spills the ball forward, but now comes to his inside center, Tuisova, who passes and again spilled backwards. Now comes to the captain. He's spotted a gap. And he's dropped it, knocked it on, and it's a double knock on by both teams. Apparently the ref says play on, even though it was definitely knocked on by both teams. But now Georgia forced Fiji all the way back to the 10-meter line in their own half. And the ball is there available for Georgia. They take the ball out. No, and that's going to be a penalty against Georgia. That was handling the ball on the floor. You can't do that, Georgia. Shocking, shocking, shocking. So unfortunately, another penalty to Fiji. But Fiji can't break past this Georgian defense. It's very interesting. They cannot. They've really struggled to. Lots of errors from Fiji today, though. I mean, seriously, error-ridden performance. And the captain as well, quite a few times as he knocked it on as well. Both sets of coaches not happy with that piece of play. The Georgian coaches unhappy, Fijian coaches unhappy, everyone's unhappy. The only one who's happy here is us who don't really care and just watching a good game of rugby here. So Petra's just saying very unfortunate. Indeed, it is unfortunate. So Fiji have opted for a kick. Lamani's going to have a second crack at the posts. He's got 30 seconds on the clock as a Georgian player's down in back play here, getting some treatment. Lamani's now got 20 seconds. He left it right down to the last minute in the previous kick. Will he get this one over? It's actually a little bit more difficult than his previous one. Let's see what he can do on the 10-meter line, just to the right of the right-hand side post. And he kicks for the goal. Oh, my word. He does get it over, but it was a low flyer, but a good kick. And Fiji put themselves for the first time in this game in the lead. Georgia unfortunately fall into that losing position. Fiji now are currently leading this game with 10 points to 9. Again, guys, we're so close to 50 likes. 49. Literally, just smash that like button right now, and we'll get to over 50, and I'll be so chuffed. Let's try and get up to 250 viewers as well, guys. That'd be really, really nice. Let's keep it going, keep it flowing like the water. It would be always great to see. As the ball goes up, Fiji goes up, and it's actually been brilliantly stolen by the winger for Georgia, who's had a fantastic game. Niniashvili, who's had a cracker of a game, steals it for Georgia. Now they're inside Fiji's 22 to immediately, hopefully, respond from that try. Fiji desperately trying to get over this ball, but unable to do so. Now being managed by Aprasidze, who finds the big number 7 of Saginadze for Georgia. Now, Georgia, can they get over the try line? That's going to be the big question. They've got to commit numbers to this ball. That's what they've got to do. As Aprasidze takes the ball out, eventually passes through to the forwards to try to bounce their way forward. Big hit there. And I think there's another injury for Georgia in back play. Niniashvili eventually gets the ball out, passes through to his forwards. The substitute, Nioradze, is injured, which is not good for Georgia, as a penalty is given to Fiji for holding on. But really not good for Georgia. Nioradze here is very, very sore with his right-hand side collarbone. And we've already seen his like-for-like player gone off with an injury that he cannot come back from. So this could be disastrous for Georgia. Chesney saying, are you also doing the Scotland game? I am not doing the Scotland game, unfortunately. That is being managed, I think, by my good friend, I believe it's Wes. Wesley's doing that game. Let me just confirm that for you. No, in fact, it is Rude. Is it Rudy? No, it's not. It's Wesley, yeah. Wesley will be doing that game for you, the Scotland game later today. Wesley, he lives in the Delta in Namibia. He's a very, very lacquer guy. Awesome guy, and be sure to go and support him in his stream, because that's going to be a fantastic game as well. But I will be joining you guys for the South African game tomorrow. Very, very keen for it. So hope to see you guys all there. So Fiji, with that penalty, do kick for the line. 66 minutes gone. Goes out literally on the halfway line. Yaku Paper just moves a little bit to the right, and is on the halfway line. Petra saying, Georgia can do it here today. Indeed, hopefully they can. But they're currently in a losing position. They were winning 9-0, now currently 10-0. So the first half, Georgia won 9-0. The second half, Fiji are winning 10-0. Can Georgia score a try? Can they do anything to break Fiji's bubble? They try to steal the lineup, which has been really poor for Fiji today, but Fiji do manage to hang on to it. They set up the maul, and this maul is now moving forward, starting to gain some traction. It's made 2 meters. Now there's a big break for the number 16, Ikanivere, who goes down on the 22-meter line after his brilliant run there. And now Fiji trying to desperately get this ball forward as quickly as possible, but again, Georgia doing very well to slow it down. Lamani captures the ball at the base of the ruck there, passes through to the forwards, jumps the one player, tries to get back there again, makes another pass, comes to the substitute, Ikanivere, I think it is. Now comes to the captain. He tries to spot a gap, tries to get his arms through, unable to do so, but he does break into the 22. Lamani now passes to the big number 20, Tuisu. Lamani once again gets that ball out to his forwards. Now they're spreading the line quickly off Fiji, and they're trying to get it through the legs. It comes to the number 7 of Botia, who's managed to break through and has gone into the 22, and now passes a brilliant pass to the number 3, to Habasi, who will go over for Fiji for the second try of this game. A brilliant try from Fiji there. Botia doing everything there to get his hands free and make a brilliant pass to Vinaya Habasi, the number 23, who will go over and surely take this game away from Georgia, unfortunately for them. And he goes over for the second try of this game. A brilliant piece of broken play from Fiji, as we've known them to do, finally waking up in this game and scoring that brilliant try. Just watching a replay here. It's through the legs from Ravutuamada. And brilliant pass there from the number 7, of course, of Botia, who finds his number 23, Habasi. I mean, literally, as he's going down, just turns, passes it off to him. Absolutely brilliant. Diale saying, wow, indeed, wow. because, Fiji, unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, I think everyone was sort of rooting for the underdog Georgia, but Fiji will win this game today. Started to run away with it a little bit, as Lamani is now going to line up this kick right in front of the posts, and he'll sail it through the middle. It does go over. Georgia now losing 17 points to 9. Fiji are very much comfortable. They've got more than a try score over Georgia. And if they get another try, they'll, of course, get that bonus point, which would be crucial for them to basically take it away and guarantee the fact that they will go through to the quarters. If they win with a bonus point, they guarantee themselves into the quarterfinal places. They don't even have to worry about next week's game, which means they can rest players, very crucially. Shakes here saying, referee team openly screwed Georgia. I don't want to hear any more Islander whining about the ref favourites ever. And Jerome saying, lol, Australia can continue packing their bags. Indeed, 100% Fiji are going to win this game. And if they win with another try, it'll be a bonus point, which means they definitely pack their bags and go home. Lamani now chips it over for his winger. It's going to be quite a good chase if it gets there eventually. And the tackle is almost made, but Matkava steps 1, steps 2. Now he tries to step a 3rd. Now he gets past the 4th and the 5th. And my word, what a brilliant run by Matkava, the fly half for Georgia. And the ball is taken out and it's knocked on by Georgia after that brilliant piece of play. Very disappointing for him. And now Lamani for Fiji passes through to the back line. They've got a bit of numbers out wide. They're going to chip it in behind. Is there going to be a good kick? It looks almost a little bit too much. It is too much. They're going to come back all the way to the 10-meter line inside Fiji's half for this kick. Very unfortunate for Fiji there. But Matkava just pulled off some outrageous stepping. Just want to watch it. Beats 1, 2, then cuts inside 3, 4, 5. There's going to be some memes about this camera angle especially. You literally just see him just dunk, and you see a player fly past that way. Absolutely beautiful play from Matkava. Mesmerizing to watch, and I wish I'd seen more of that today. That was absolutely beautiful. But yeah, unfortunately, his team did not help him out in terms of trying to capitalize upon that brilliant piece of play, and lost the ball, knocked it on. Fiji then got the ball, kicked it out on the full, and it will be a line out to Georgia just past the 10-meter line inside Fiji's half. So the lineout is taken by Georgia, and they've got it out very quickly. They pass the inside. It's a little bit of a weird pass, to be fair, from Georgia, but they're now trying to receive it at the base of the ruck. Comes to Aprasidze, who passes it out to his forwards. He once again manages the base of the ruck, gets the ball out to the substitutes. It comes to Abuladze, who goes down, gets taken back quite a lot, but it's not rolling very well here. Is Ravai, I think it is, of Fiji, but eventually Aprasidze gets the ball out, and Georgia going backwards here. They are very tired now. And now Georgia trying to come through, but Fiji are over this ball. It's going to be a penalty against not releasing there from Fiji, not releasing the ball, and eventually the ball comes clean. And Georgia have a penalty just past the 10-meter line, and let's see if they get it out. What will they do here? It's going to be crucial to see. Will Georgia go for the try? Can they try and do something right towards the end of this game? Diana saying, want to see the replay. Indeed, you want to see the replay of that stepping. It was beautiful. And Pedro saying, yeah, look, that last try, something didn't sit right. Well, I'm not so sure something didn't sit right necessarily, but yeah. Got a little bit of a break here. Having a chat with the captain of Fiji as the ref. I think about a couple of discipline things, so we might see a late yellow card here in favour of Fiji. I think might be told that there's problems. Number 20 for Georgia, Ivanishvili, is getting told to go and do an HIA, a head injury assessment. Unfortunately for him, he thought he was fine, but unfortunately he's been told by the ref to get off the field. And as a result, he's going to be replaced by Tonika Kakoidza, who's the number 23 player. Now Georgia heading for the line out. It's a shocking kick by Matkava. And it's going to go out just inside Fiji's 22-meter. So lots of space to make up for Georgia to try and score a try. Ball goes in from the line out, and they do take it in. They try to set it more, which they've not done very many times today, have Georgia. And is this ball eventually going to start moving forward? It is. It's starting to turn a little bit. He goes, dives around the inside, and he's knocked it on in the tackle. And it's taken out by Fiji. What will Fiji do here? They can try and kick it in behind. They do kick it. Is there going to be a chase? But Georgia did very well to get back very, very quickly. And it's covered by the fullback, Miriani Morababta. And it comes eventually to his outside centre, but it's a forward pass. So Georgia, once again, they become Fiji. More mistakes in the second half. And it will be a scrum to Fiji. Just 8 minutes left of this game, ladies and gentlemen. Back in 2 seconds. Don't go anywhere. Back already. Look at that. Literally said like more or less 2 seconds. I do apologize. Just had to get the water because I'm struggling a little bit. But we are all good now. And yeah, this will be a scrum to Fiji on about the 10-meter line inside their own half. Can Georgia try and do something to win this game right at the last second? So the scrum is going to get going. Eventually, Lamani is going to feed this ball in. And it's eventually gone straight down the scrum. So they're going to have to reset it, yeah? So a delay, once again, in the piece of play, yeah? So looking at the team statistics, dominant tackles by Georgia, 21. Still in a very, very impressive feat, whereas Fiji, of course, only had 3. So yeah, very, very impressive from Fiji. And also just to go back to those earlier comments, likes, we've got 53 now. Thank you so much, guys, for getting us over that marker. As we're still seeing the scrum being set up, it's going to take a whole minute, apparently. We're going to reach the 74th minute by the time this ball goes in from Lamani. Fiji are, yeah, there was very, very even scrum. Comes to the captain. Would he find a gap? He tries to kick it through, but it hits the Georgian player. Now they can counter-attack here. There's a few gaps, and he's trying to dance his way through as the new number 23, Kakwetza, for Georgia. And now it's eventually managed by Aprasidze, who takes the ball out, passes through to Matkava, who finds his back line, who's trying ever so desperately to try and get through, but they can't find a gap, can Georgia? Eventually he's brought down in the centre of the field. His forwards go and get over that ruck. Can Georgia do something right at the end of this game? They've got a little bit of numbers out wide here. Can they get it to them? And it's almost a forward pass, but it's not quite. It's not apparently. So the number 13, Demir Tabladze, takes the ball forward just inside Fiji's half. And now it comes to the forward. They're trying to dive through. I think that was a grass cutter tackle there almost, but not apparently. Now here comes Niniashvili, who tries to do something, and he's tried to do something this entire game. And once again comes to the back line here. Very messy from Georgia. Eventually going to come forward through their number 8, of course, being Jalagonia. Matkava now passes the ball through to his back line. Now there's a bit of space for Georgia to play. Can they get through his arms to 3 of the tackle? He makes the pop pass. Here comes Georgia, the number 23. They've got space out wide. He tries to go himself, but he goes, oh, he's out. He's out. His legs managed to touch the line. That's so disappointing for Georgia. They just got inside Fiji's 22, but he stepped out. That's so upsetting. Colin here asking a very interesting question, saying, are you sitting on a Maserati chair? No, this is not a Maserati chair. I wish. It would be quite fun. Craig saying, where is the beer? Well, there's no beer for me today. Unfortunately, I'm out of beers. It's very upsetting. So no beers today, unfortunately, for me. We do not have in the stock. So it's just the water today. Maybe somebody can fund me a beer. I'll go and buy one for the next time. I'm doing tomorrow's game. I need stock. But yes, anyway, not important are the beers that much. We're looking at the rest of this game. We've still got 5 minutes left to go. Fiji have got a line out on their 22-meter line. It goes to the back. Georgia tried their best to steal it, couldn't get over it. Fiji set up the maul. Georgia weren't ready for it. And Georgia eventually joined onto it. But Fiji motoring forward a little bit now, starting to make some ground. 3-4 meters. It's now been stopped. And he's through the middle, apparently, is the number 5. So he's going to pull this ball, and apparently I think Georgia might well win this. The ball's gone in, but it's a penalty against Georgia. I think that's a tough one there, ref. He says that Georgia pulled it down, but I'm not so sure. And yeah, there's just complaints there by Mikautadze, of Georgia, saying, but I was through the middle and I was through there, and he collapsed it. I don't understand why I'm being penalised, and one has to more or less agree with his argument. It's a bit of an odd one. The ball is Gonna go out. It's only just gonna go out on Georgia's 22-meter line. And Fiji could have a chance to go and get an extra try. And if they do, of course, 3 tries, bonus point, will mean that Fiji will get through to the quarterfinals automatically, and Australia cannot do anything. So can they score that last try of the game? Velo here, I've not seen you here, saying I knew Fiji would come back. Tuso v Tuso, or Toso v Toso, I don't know. It's clearly something I'm not quite understanding. But yeah, indeed, Fiji have come back. I said, would they be able to come back the second half? They have been able to do so. I'm going to end that poll because I don't think Georgia's got enough time to come back as Fiji get the maul going on the 22-meter line. And it's now set. Can they motor forward? No, it's collapsed by themselves. And it comes to the substitute, Nioradza. And now Lamani takes the ball out. Can Fiji get this ball out as quickly as possible? They've tried to do this whole, like, just physically get over, but they've not tried to pass it out wide too many times today. It's been poor from Fiji. They need to use their backline a lot more, and they need to use a lot more broken play. They don't make passes quick enough to Fiji. Not getting their hands free as much. Eventually now comes to Botia, who gets his hands free. As I say that, he's been one of the only ones who's managed to. Lamani now passes a relatively low pass, but managed to get the ball. And they enter the 22-meter line of Georgia. Here comes Fiji once again, driving forward. Lamani now sees some space on the outside here for Sabaks. Now comes to his captain. Will he get his arms free? Unable to do so. He passes straight back through his legs so that Lamani can get the ball out quickly for his forwards. Who've now made about 10 meters. They are just about 15 meters away from the try line. Now comes the big number 18. That is Tawake of Fiji. Now they've got numbers on the blind side here. Do Fiji, if they can just get their arms free, and they don't, it's really, really poor. They should be scoring a lot more tries. Now comes the captain. What can he do? He tries to dive his way forward, but there's a big tackle from Georgia. Forces them backwards. Fiji just look out of ideas when they're on the attack, and I think this is going to cost them when it comes to later games. Georgia have done very well today, but unfortunately just not enough to get over Fiji's line. But now trying to do a darting run is the big number 17, Ravai, for Fiji. Now Lamani tries to get the ball out the back of the ruck here. Comes to the number 19, Maya Navanau, or however you say it, that one. It's the longest, one of the longest names out there. And there's a big ruck hit there from Fiji. They're still trying to motor forward, but Georgia just meeting them equally in defense. And now Fiji slowing it down, right down. And I think they're going to try and do a big props. Basically, I think they're going to try and slow down the game, get their backline ready for something quickly. And now they're darted through. There's no penalty for Georgia. And now they're just trying this. They've noticed there's a little bit of an issue here. And they're just about 6 meters out now after that great little dive there. And now they're going to drop goal straight through the middle. And he missed it. What the hell are they doing? What the hell are they doing? So it'll be a 22-meter dropout. What the hell are Fiji doing? Hey? Georgia have taken it quickly, and they're running through. They've managed to break away. It comes from number 23. He's got his fullback. He's got it into Fiji's half. My word, look at this. Brilliant start there, but unfortunately, there's nobody to support him. Now Fiji have stolen the ball back inside their own half. Literally just dived over and got the ball. Nobody supported Georgia. But somebody's injured here. It's the number 15. It's Modabadza, who's quite hurt here on the floor for Georgia. And the medics are there very quickly in the last minutes of this game. We're going to have a TMO decision for this. Is it head-to-head contact? This is huge. It's head-to-head contact. That's a red card. That is a red card. Fiji's going to have a red card right at the end of this game. It doesn't mean anything for the result, but it does mean things about the future games. This is going to be a yellow straight to a review. I just want to confirm who it's for. Is it a big name player for Fiji? I just want to confirm. Yellow card pending a review. Could be upgraded. I think it will likely be upgraded to a red. It's direct head-to-head contact. Fiji have got a penalty just inside Fiji. Georgia's got a penalty just inside. It's Tuisova. So it is quite a big name for Fiji, who's got the card under review. And if he should get a red, he will miss the next couple of games, of course. So that's huge. Huge for Fiji. Tuisova gets the yellow pending the upgrade of the card right at the end here as he made a tackle on Modabatsa. Head-to-head contact. And Georgia are going to do the intelligent thing. Yeah, it's not sure it's that intelligent, but they're going to go with Matkava. They're going to kick it for the post to end this game off. Going to try come within 7 points. Of course, it pushes them up to 12 points, which means within 7, so they get the bonus point. Matkava kicks it straight through the middle. They will go on to 12 points with just 10 seconds left of this game. Georgia back into 12. Their first points in the second half. Fiji will, though, definitely win this game. Or maybe they won't, because they're still got to start the game. They're still got to start the game, this Fiji. So Georgia are now within 5 points of Fiji. So can they maybe try and force a try through here? It's very unlikely, though. They are within 7. They've got that losing bonus point. Fiji are very slow to restart the game here. They will get it going. They will have to kick it straight in play, though. They can't kick it out. And let's see. Botia has now eventually made his way up to the halfway line. It's been very, very scrappy from Fiji today. Exceptionally scrappy. But my heart goes out to Georgia because they did try a lot to try and do something with this game. So Matkava runs as hard as he can with the ball in his hand. Now he finds his back line. Can they find their way through to get over Fiji's line? It comes eventually to the substitute, the number 23, Kakoitza, and he goes down about 10 meters outside of his 22. The ball comes out, and Georgia's still trying to come forward. Matkava finds the long looping ball to his outside there, to his number 15, who tries to come back in field to find support. He's trying to find a gap. He goes down on his 22-meter line. Georgia still desperately trying to score some more points here. They've got numbers out wide to Georgia. Now they find the pass. Can they get the pass? They come in field. Here he comes. Taquenza. It's free. He's going down the wing. Can he get his arms free? He kicks it in behind. There's a chase from Matkava. Can he get over right at the edge? It's kicked out by Fiji. Deliberately kicked out. And that's the end of the game. Oh, it's almost brilliant by Georgia right at the end of the game. Oh, what an end to the game this was. Oh, my word. He should have kept it in hand, I feel. Oh, no. Georgia almost scored what would have been a brilliant try to go and potentially win the game. But right at the end there, that is the end of it. That is 80 minutes gone. The players all fall to the floor. It's been a hell of an aggressive game from both teams, albeit very, very error-driven. But my word, Georgia tried so hard. Right at the end there, Kakoitza rather, the number 23 for Georgia, almost spurred them into life and almost got Georgia out of the caves of disruption and into the light of victory. It was really, really almost impressive by Georgia. Ignore my phrase there, it was really terrible. But nonetheless, Georgia do lose this game. It's final score, Fiji 17, Georgia 9. My word, what a game that was. A brilliant end to it. I'll tell you, it would have been a hell of a try to have scored. But my word, yeah, what a game, what a game. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on the channel. I'm going to go and do the review of the game straight away. That yellow card pending a red card will be, I think, upgraded to a red. So that's going to be interesting to note. So that's going to upgrade to a red. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. Mark, of course, be sure to stay on the channel. You're going to be redirected to the next live stream, of course, with the Scotland game. And you'll be in the build-up for that. Thank you so much for watching me. Thank you so much for joining the channel here. Be sure to go and check out our channel sponsors, BITDEFENDER and BOYLESPORTS. And I'll see you tomorrow for my Springbok game, which I'll be taking you through. And enjoy the Scotland game with Wes later. I'll be on the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. Cheerio.